Holy cow, look at this. It's a biblical day here at the Type S Road to the Championship presented by AutoZone. I mean, you can't ask for better weather, better vibes, and a better time than right here, right now. Round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. It all began in 2004 as an idea, 4 rounds, and it all began here. This is the birthplace, the womb, where the red dirt meets the asphalt of this iconic track. A keyhole, a horseshoe was paved many moons ago, and here we are to tear it up once again. The fans come out in droves, and I'll tell you what, driving into this place was absolutely electric. You can feel the intensity either through the screen, through my voice, and next to me, once again, is my co-host. I'm Jared Deanna, Jacob Gens, host of the AutoZone podcast. Absolutely excited to be here once again. Jacob, how excited are you to be here, and what, give us kind of a temperature meter, a gauge of what is going through your mind?
I'm pumped. I'm always excited for this round, and I know the fans are too. I mean, last night when we were leaving, people were parked, camping, getting ready for this morning just to come in. It is packed here.
Yep.
It is already slammed. We're top 32. Good luck finding a seat. The pits were packed. You could barely walk through this place. It was great. And yeah, everybody I saw was like, oh my God, everyone's partying. It's going to be a great time.
Yep. You know what's so funny is, and there are judges right now. You can see getting the tutorial on the pads right there. There we see Reese Marin, Brian Egger, and Robin Ishida. Cheers to the camera. There it is. Robbie pops in. He didn't want to be close to the camera today. He says, well, Brian's a little bit shy. He's a little shy guy. Pretty fly for a shy guy, though. And, just like you said, just the anticipation for this event, you can feel it. We had an amazing round 1 coming into this round. It's just been really fun. The new format, I love it. I think it's great. It's all killer, no filler. We're talking about all tandems, no single run qualifying. I thought it was great. All started Thursday night, right? It actually started Wednesday night. We partied across the street at Lanier for Type S night lights, courtesy of Nappy Boy, Larry Chen, and all them. But Jeff Jones, man, he showed up. The boy from the West Coast said, all right, hold my beer. Let's check this out. Ryan Littoral as well. Both these guys who have had a little bit dips and drips, but they put it down for their town. What do you think? Yeah,
it was great to see. I mean, a lot of drivers, it looked like they were kind of shaking off the rust, building the momentum. Coming in today, they've got that momentum. We saw, Rat Dan. We saw some incredible battles, and then you finish it up, and you're like, oh, we've got another day to do all this again. And yeah, some people kind of came out of the woodwork and drove like we've never seen them drive before, which is what seating bracket is meant for.
Yep.
It's almost like a development. You get more seat time. You got to win one battle, you're in the show, and then you can just keep battling. It's all for pride, it's all for ego, and it's all for the fans.
Yeah, Diego Higa. So what does that mean? Basically, we backfill those 8 spots, right? So we are pre-seeding that 24 and then backfill to fill the 32. So going off of the previous round, that's what we go off of. Seeding the 24, pre-seeding, we pull a chip, that restacks them and tracks them, and then we backfill with the 8, courtesy of the seeding bracket. Bragging rights, that's what it is. And I really liked what you said there, Jacob, as far as, getting more track time, getting consistency. But James Dean winning the round. Guess what? Vaughn Gittin Jr. had to go through the seeding brackets, and unfortunately, the boss man, RTR, Captain Clutchkick, who won here last year, will be the first battle against his very own James Dean, who is, again, 3-time champion, going for a championship. He is on a championship run. There they are. Look at James and the boss man talking right there.
Yeah, and I mean, anybody who thinks that like team orders are going to come into play, no way. Vaughn Gittin is going to.
I don't know. I beg to differ.
I don't know.
You really think so?
I think maybe he thought about it, and then he's going to get to that start line, and instinct's going to kick in. He's going to go full mode.
It's going to be May. Is that what you're saying?
It's going to be crazy.
Big rule changes this year. Elaborate on these. You can read it, but elaborate on them.
Yeah, big reduction in automatic incompletes. We really think about, 3 tires off, okay, the run's over. It's not anymore. Nope. The only way to really zero or incomplete or whatever you want to use is if you straighten for 2 seconds or you spin out completely. So that has been absolutely massive. So if you see those large mistakes, just know it's a detriment, but it doesn't mean a 0. 1 more times are meant for just good runs, not bad runs. Very oversimplification, but I think that's the best way to look at it. And the other big change is debeating. If you debeat on that first run without any contact, you don't get to change the tire. If there's contact, you can change the tire. Both both drivers get to change their time.
And that was really instrumental because of what transpired at round 1. That was something that we have visited, but we wanted to revisit. So here's our 2024 season schedule. Obviously, here we are at round 2 here in Atlanta. James Dean leads the pack. Do the math, 100 points, of course. And then we move on to Orlando. Shoot, in just a short 2 weeks, it's going to be hot there. And then I love E-Town, first ever purpose-built. St. Louis, Seattle, which I love, is quickly becoming my second favorite round after this. And, of course, Utah. And James Taylor Dean, as I call it. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. He literally saw fire on Tuesday, and then he saw rain on Saturday, but he came out on top. And, hey, guess what? Odie Bakshi's, man, and Simon Olsen, second. 2 and 3 are the field suspension cars.
Yeah, field suspension has got some sort of secret sauce going on. They are figuring this out. We saw them last year, obviously, do incredibly well. Odie taking second, Simon taking fourth, and that continued all through Long Beach. So please keep your eye out for both of these field suspension cars because they're doing something. I have no idea what it is, but both drivers are just crushing right now. And obviously, James Dean taking that huge win after having what for most teams would have been a weekend end.
Yeah.
But that RTR team, crazy resources. They were flying wiring looms out. They had every staff member filling bags up, trying to get it through security, just so they could get to the track and get that car completely rebuilt in a matter of, what, 30 hours.
Yeah, and you know what? It's just what's crazy about James Dean is you have to backtrack and think about Irwindale, how we ended the season with an exclamation point, right? Here he's on the podium after going and getting on the driver's side because of the right-hand drive Mustang, slapping his arm, breaking his collarbone, still driving, getting on the box. What a crazy event. And then they rebuild the car. It's a brand new car. They bring it here. He catches on fire. Super emotional moment. And you can get into that courtesy of Nitto Tires. They have what's called Moments, a James Dean story. I think we were both welling up, even rewatching it on Thursday. Oh, man. Well, if you want to experience Ford Mustangs here in the building, you could do that as well because Mustang Unleashed, right along with RTR team members Vaughn Gittin Jr., Ben Hobson, as they shred tires at the Mustang Unleashed display today at 11:15. Make sure you stop by. That was earlier today, but head to the Mustang Unleashed display for an opportunity to be chosen for a tour of the RTR vehicle drift team pit with Vaughn Gittin Jr. Be there at 5:45 today for an opportunity to be chosen for this amazing opportunity. So avid Mustang lover and Pro Spec driver Chris Leonard, who races in a 2017 S550 Mustang, plans to wow your eyes and ears at the Mustang Unleashed display today. And the Mustang Unleashed display will be at other Formula Drift rounds. So if you're not here in the building, keep in mind, Mustang Unleashed going down, and that's what they're doing. I had the courtesy of being at the 60th birthday party at Charlotte, North Carolina. Mustang Unleashed is going to happen throughout. So if that girl right there, she's a Mustang fan, guess what? Head on over to Mustang Unleashed. All right, and if you're living under a rock, this is what we're talking about. This was Justin Smash here with that FPV drone, getting all the footage. Great angle here. Looks like a video game, but this is reality.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they did it. I really don't. I went and checked in when they were rebuilding. I was texting people. You know, they took the car to Dean Carney's shop. I was texting Dean to see what was going on, and just they show back up and it looks like a brand new car. The only way you would know is the fact that the mirrors were still melted because they didn't even have spare mirrors yet. So it was absolutely crazy. And yeah, Lorette actually had a few minutes to chat with James Dean and see what was going through his mind when all this was going on.
Well, he is not on fire, there's no broken bones, and he is not sick. James Dean is killing it here in round number 2, and he's going against the big boss man, my gosh, in the top 32. What was the discussion like between you and Vaughn Gittin Jr.?
So there's, he's wearing many hats. He's a team owner, he's a badass driver, and now we're ending up battling in the first battle, opening up the show here at Formula Drift Atlanta. Not exactly what we wanted, so I think he was thinking about it more than I was. So for me, to win an event, to feel the best after doing well, you want to beat the best, you know what I mean? So I want a straight up battle. And he didn't know what to think at the start, but when we started talking about it, he came on this morning and he is ready to battle. So I think it's going to be a crazy way to start the show here today. I'm very excited. These two cars are working great. He's a master at this track, and we're going to be not trying to give him an easy time. So we're going to push hard and put on a show for the amazing fans here.
Yeah. And I love that, and that you're finally feeling 100% and going against a driver that is going to be a heads-up driver. That must inspire a lot of confidence for you.
For me personally, often having a big battle in top 32 is really difficult. But in a way, when you're battling a top driver, you know, if it goes wrong, then you're beaten by one of the best. So it's not that hard to take as if, you know, something went wrong and everyone was expecting you to win. So this is a straight up battle, and no matter what happens, one of the RTRs will move on to top 16, and we'll be pushing hard to go as far as we can tonight, whoever it is.
James, good luck.
Thank you.
You know, this is previous, obviously, to them being on the start line. There's James Dean behind the wheel of his trusty steed. Lorette texted us and said the engine bay is still charred, still got a little flambe on. I know you come from the kitchen, but guess what? If you want to cook up a good time, bet now. If you're a betting man, place your bets, because $5 can win you $100. You know what? Spend 10, 20, whatever money you got, just go ahead. Put it out there. Scan the QR code, or you can go to NXTBets/Formula D, and you can place your bets. It's $5 to win 100. Who's your money on? Who's your money on?
Man, I really like the way the field suspension team is looking. I mean, that amount of momentum, it's real tough to deny just how consistent they've been.
Yep. You know, and you said, I don't know what, I don't know how. I think you know a little bit, and I'll just say that it's, well, we know a lot, right? We know enough to be dangerous. But I think the secret sauce is S chassis, the products, the wide array of things, the horsepower, and then having another car that's duplicate. That just goes to show you just on how powerful Odie Bakshis is and all that equity. So again, Jared DeAnder here, Jacob Gens, thank you so much for joining us here. We're down for a good time. Thank you so much for joining us here. It's an absolute pleasure and honor. Jacob, you're doing such a great job with Outer Zone. Thank you so much for. Here's a shovel, bro. Can you dig it? You're digging in there and you're getting all the sweet treats.
Dude, we did that Pro Spec episode last night with the top 3 finishers. Everybody all at once, covered in champagne. It was great. I think we're gonna do it with Pro tonight. So should be fun. A little hectic, and it's my kind of hectic.
Emotions.
Yeah,
emotions.
A lot of emotions.
Yeah, and that's the best storytelling, when you don't even have to ask a question, people just elaborate. And we're going to see who it is. But right now, it's a beautiful day, and it's going to be a beautiful day into evening. Let's take a look at this iconic course. D-cell areas, and you know, you had the opportunity to just sit back and watch Pro Spec. What were some of the areas that the judges, again, Reese Marin, Brian Eggert, Robin Nishida, where do you think they're focusing in on? What's the critical parts?
I think a great indication is how we've changed what the D-cell area looks like. It's a little darker to one side and it fades out. That's because you're going to expect a sudden D-cell when they go to initiate, but they should be speeding up, and you can see by that inner clip 1 and 3 got to be on full throttle. And then look at the green lines, that return line. There is no inner clip when you're coming back down the hill, so you're able to play with the line a little bit more, get more aggressive, get tighter to the track, squeeze them out, push wide so you can get a ton of angle. It allows the drivers to have a little bit more fun, play their game, drive the way they want to drive in that section. So expect some really big things after drivers come out of the keyhole to see how they're going to play with this track a little bit.
Well, we are getting our cars in the burnout box. There's going to be a quick interview, Lorette, but you're with the gentleman that won it Thursday night. What kind of momentum does he have? Lorette, up to you.
Well, we're definitely hoping for that momentum. You're changing a few parts here, Jeff?
Yeah, you know, we jumped into practice this morning thinking the car was great, and of course there's always small failures. Just the V-band clamp let loose on us with my run with Taguchi earlier. But we had the one chase there and then did a one lead lap, and then practice was over that quick. So, but you know, hey, I had practice the other day, but ground temp here changes drastically at Atlanta. But I'm feeling pretty good. You know, the muscle memory's there, just got to adapt as we send it.
Jeff, thanks very much. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Lorette, and good luck to you, Jeff Jones. After an absolutely stunning performance there. You know, simulators play a major role here. Sim Magic, you know, our official simulator sponsor of Formula Drift. They have an amazing display, but I know a lot of people have been using them, including Manoa, who actually, you know, got that victory there at round 1. But speaking of round 1, James Dean, our current leader, against the boss man, Captain Clutch Kick. He won here last year, 2-time champ. This gentleman, I mean, can we start any more aggressive with our points leader, 3-time champion, going against the boss man, 2-time champion, who could play dark horse in this whole scenario because he's only doing 2 rounds this year. This round and Irwindale.
Yeah, this is, I mean, I'm holding my breath.
Okay, so don't hold it too long. Okay, don't black out on me. Here we go. Well, we're about to black out because James the Machine Dean versus Vaughn Ginn Jr. James Dean leads in an AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5FD. Comes in, look at that, pulling that left tire up. And Vaughn Ginn Jr. goes into the dirt and now comes up the hill into that horseshoe. These are bucket Broncos here, so it is fitting. Vaughn Ginn Jr. gets in the dirt a little bit. Here comes James Dean. height is right there on that inside clip number 2. Now coming back down the hill into that last inside clip, which is the first. He does tap it, but overall, a really good run by James Dean. I'll tell you, Vaughn Gittin Jr., not duplicating exactly what James Dean. He went off course, going out of inside clip 1, going up the hill. Watch it again.
Yeah, so James Dean, this is the type of initiation he's been doing all weekend. Not a big swing, just a bit of a shallow one, tight and right. Then we see Vaughn with a big correction there coming up the hill. Now, as we get into the keyhole, Vaughn starts to dive back in, but James already through that keyhole, getting a ton of angle as he comes outside of that second outside zone through the inside clip. And then through this middle section, you can see Vaughn pushing as hard as he can, timing a really, really good transition there to get back in. So Vaughn making a couple mistakes there. James Dean being the typical machine Dean, almost perfect out in the lead. So it is going to be tough here for Vaughn. He's going to have a perfect run, and James is going to have to make bigger mistakes in the chase in order for that to swing Vaughn's way.
Do you think he's going to just like force them? I'm telling you, you know, they're in the cars now.
Yeah.
We're halfway through this battle. There's team orders. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. James, contrary to that, I talked to him yesterday, had an opportunity, we shot, send it a little video snippet yesterday. James says, nah, man, no. He says, I will be pissed if he just flops for me.
Yeah.
I want to earn it.
That was no flop. There was no flop.
Okay. you can tell yourself that. I don't know. What does the internet say? We'll see. Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr., James the Machine Dean. Vaughn Gittin Jr., great initiation. James Dean. And I know he's going to earn it. He's going to earn it properly, but I'd hate to see them go and crash or a scenario like that. There goes James Dean. Oh, Vaughn goes wide in an outside zone 2. James Dean. Oh, he goes for the pass. Boom. There we go, baby. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets it back. He says, hey, I'm sorry, boss. Be step on your toes. Let's come back and bring it back. James the Machine Dean. He says, my bad. Vaughn Gittin Jr. overshoots it. Is that a flop? We'll never know. We'll never know.
All the spotters. All the spotters looking at us.
All the spotters are
looking
staring
at us.
Okay.
That's a lot of heat.
You guys, again, we'll never know.
Yeah. Look it.
Let's look at it again. I called it. I'm just saying. I've been here a longer time than you, Jacob.
That's fair. Vaughn Gittin Jr. has had 2 perfect events here, so it is tough to see him drive like this and have these types of issues. I have heard a few things that they might be struggling with a couple mechanicals, but Vaughn coming up to that first outside zone, pulls some angle out of it, shoots the car forward, and does go super wide through that zone. Once again, we don't have that. James Dean was looking for a pass there. Vaughn squeezes them out as they come back down the hill, but that was a pretty big mistake there from Vaughn Gittin Jr. while James Dean holds everything together. Could we see James Dean win another Road Atlanta like he did back in 2017? I don't know, but I don't think Vaughn's going to get a 3rd win here.
No, unfortunately not. You know, and he raised a ruckus when he went against Joao Barrion in the seeding bracket. There were some tumultuous things there, but overall, it's James Dean. Regardless of what happens Thursday going to today, if it's I say it's team orders. Regardless, guess what? James Dean gets the win. He's moving on. He's your points leader. He's advancing on to the 16. I think Vaughn had something to prove. Look at that.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, even if it was team orders, I think that's the right decision. I mean, if I'm ruling the roost and I'm doing 2 rounds, I want my dude to move on. Why would I stick the leg and take him out and put him in a body bag, man? Yeah,
no, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, we did see battles like that back, what was it, Irwindale against Denofa, where he took Denofa out. I mean, I'm saying there's definitely there's some stuff going on, but keys to victory.
Yep.
Quick and dynamic initiations. They don't want just long e-brake pulls. Reese and I were talking about that last night. On throttle before inside clip 1. Use angle to set up the car for outside zone 2. So as you're coming up through that straight section of the keyhole, and don't cut the line exiting the keyhole. They don't want you off-roading. They want a nice smooth transition out of there. So you'll see here a big difference between pro spec and pros. As they come down the hill, the pro drivers are going to light up their tires. They're not just going to crank on the e-brake and ride it and flat spot it all the way down. They will light up the tires and keep them rotating. You will still see some e-brake checks, but that's the big difference between these 2 groups.
Well, I mean, there's a horsepower difference. There's tire
there's
difference.
A ton. There's weight difference. There's a lot.
And also coming out of that horseshoe, removing that touch and go, I really think gives you some creative control.
Yeah. Yeah, you just have to either push out wide to come back in, depending on what year and how we had it laid out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Trent Beecham, Dylan Hughes. Enough about James Dean. He got the win. Vaughn Gittin Jr. out. He gets the watch here on his boy. But I'll tell you what, these 2 BMWs here were shredding in practice. Look out for Trent Beecham here, that Nexon Tires Clonex BMW. He's got that V8 under the hood. We got the 2J under the hood of Dylan Hughes now coming into that second outside zone. Trent Beecham, he puts it right in the right spot. That's sweet right there. That's a BMW filled donut. Now into the second clip. A good job there. Now coming out. Now what do we got? Now coming back down the hill into inside clip number 3. Number 1 is number 3 once again. Pretty textbook. Yeah. Good job by Trent Beecham. Like I said, in practice, I was wildly impressed by what Beecham was putting down.
Beecham is really coming into his own. We saw him last year in Utah do a good job, and this just continues on here. Beecham putting down a really solid run. Love the angle that we start to see right here. Adds the angle in, has a lot of patience, understands he's got to keep that momentum scrubbed. And Dylan Hughes in the chase doing a phenomenal job. Not super aggressive, not banging doors, keeping that proximity. And you can see there a reduction in angle and then mirrors perfectly through as we come through that last inside clip. So both drivers really, kind of now getting into their sophomore years in the pro level. We're starting to see the experience where that young, aggressive, I just want to run into everything is starting to fade. And now they're really starting to tame themselves and go, okay, I need to win by doing the right things, not just by smashing into everybody.
Well, that's championship form, and we've seen that from yesteryear, Vaughn Gitt Jr. in 2010, even in 2020. It's just dialing it back and getting that refinement. And that's what really separates, I don't love the term, but the men from the boys. That's an old adage, but basically the champion versus the amateur.
Yeah, the old bull versus the young bull.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. The Jedi versus the Padawan.
We can run down and eat, that patch of grass, or we can walk down and eat all the grass.
This is terrible. Let's just stop all these adages.
All right, I got you.
Yeah. All right. Well, now we're going to switch the order here. Dylan Hughes will now lead. Trent Beecham is going to give chase. Let's see what kind of activation we get here from Dylan Hughes. I feel like he's got something to prove here. He wanted to better himself in Long Beach, got knocked out fairly early. Beecham as well. So a lot of things to prove here, and that's what I love about right now with the Pro Championship. Ooh, Dylan Hughes, a big separation already from Trent Beecham. That Royal Purple BMW coming up the hill. O'Reilly's coming into the second outside zone. Beecham now goes into the beach. He literally grabs an umbrella on the beach. Unfortunately for Beecham, he overshoots that second outside zone. That is going to be, again, not an incomplete. These are just ticking away as far as, again, mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, out in the lead, Dylan did have a couple of things, especially here on initiation. So let's see as he comes down the hill. Good initiation there, but watch this inside clip. He's about 2 feet off it where Trent was in the right spot there. Now, as they come up the hill, you can start to see the smoke fill in the cabin, and he scrubs angle, shoots out, and that's what pushes him wide. Has to almost reinitiate there. Wasn't a full, complete stop of drift, but it was not a great section of that course. And then Dylan Hughes, realizing kind of the mistake there, does a great job through the rest of the run. So one, I would say, small mistake from Dylan Hughes in the lead there, but that did, that was a pretty big mistake from Trent Beecham.
It got offset by Beecham's more kind of dynamic mistake. All right, so look at this. All right, so now we got Egger closer to the camera. We can see him up close and personal. You have to assume it's going to go right. A good effort by Beecham, but that was a major mistake on his side. So Dylan Hughes, the dozer, gets the win. A great effort by Beecham, but I'll tell you what, anybody can win in 32. There's so much equity here. And there is the boss man talking to James Dean. What's going through their mind? Again, you can see Richie. All right, down to Lorette. What are they talking about?
Well, obviously Vaughn is talking to James Dean, and James sat in his car for a minute. And Vaughn, if I can ask you real quick, I saw...
Was it a flop? Was it a flop? Lorette, ask him.
Irwindale.
It was a flop.
Vaughn, we've seen you have 2 perfect events here. Was that maybe just a miscalculation on your part?
If I'm honest, we've been chasing a few things with the car, and I'm not a driver to blame things on a race car, but James is having the same problem. On my entire chase run, we had a misfire, so when I would go to tip in, the car would kind of fall on its face and then come back to life. And so when I went to transition up the hill, it was very lazy because the car just didn't want to rotate, didn't want to light off. And so on my lead run, I was trying to compensate for knowing that we were fighting an issue. And it was just a little bit too hot going up the hole, up into the keyhole. I put 2 tires off, and from there it was just salvaging. I was doing everything I could. I usually run 4th gear coming out of the keyhole. I was running 3rd and shifting late and just, battling some unfortunate things. That is, we have an absolutely amazing team, but there's always room for improvement. And, these are those moments that, we get stronger, we learn things. And right now, with James being able to keep his composure on that whack line I gave him. He almost took the pass on me, and I was no way I was letting that happen. So good for him for keeping composure, and I'm excited.
All right, here we go.
For the rest of the night. I'm going to take my suit off, go sit up with my family, and watch our team do what they do. And if we can keep James in a car, he's going to win tonight.
Thanks very much, Jared.
All right, thank you so much. Hiro Manoa and Jeff Jones. Again, Vaughn Gay Jr., a lot of things to say there, but right now, Hiro Manoa, who really made a statement, raised a lot of eyebrows. This young, let's call him second overall in the FD Japan Championship, but Jeff Jones got a lot of momentum, as we said.
Yeah, love the big Japanese swing that we get there. I mean, we see a lot of Japanese drivers do this, and it checked up Jeff Jones pretty hard there. And you can see almost half the rear end of Hiro Manoa, a little bit straight there through the second outside zone, and that pushes him wide. Now Jeff almost looking for a pass, and there we go. Jeff Jones takes the pass as Hiro Manoa not able to complete the keyhole correctly. So good spot to do it. In my opinion, he's fully in his right to do it. But you got to be careful when you try to make that, because it can bite you. It really, really can bite you. So take a look here. You can see Manoa very straight through it. Jeff in the correct line. And Manoa basically allowing him to pass by him there as they exit out the keyhole. So Hiro Manoa, I mean, this is a tough track. It's a very tough track. And if you go wide in that section and your chase car is on the right line, this is what happens.
Yeah. And you know, Manoa, from what I understand, Robbie was telling me. So the judges are actually asking for a replay right now, which is interesting. Don't know if we're going to actually show it to the public, or they just want to watch it, but I think they're going to take a look back here. And Robbie was talking, you know, Robbie lives in Japan. He commutes over here. Oh, yeah, there's a debeating. So here, let's take a look here. So here goes Manoa on initiation. Again, part of that Jerry Yang camp, goes into outside zone 1.
You can see the car.
Yeah, the attitude of the car.
Oh, I think I saw it there.
Yeah.
So inside
well,
tire.
The attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, good for him for staying on it and trying to just push through the rest of the problem. But Jeff probably saw it, so I'm curious if that's, you know, the rumble strips coming down. There was a pretty interesting conversation in the drivers' meeting about this as to, oh yeah, outside side.
Oh yeah, that's
wow.
that, you can definitely see that back left corner.
Yeah.
But I think it happened. I think it happened earlier.
Yeah.
I think it happened earlier, and that's why Jeff was just right there. And again, going back to Robbie Nishida's inside, as soon as he left Long Beach, and look at how aggressive those steps are, you know, and then you got to go backwards against them. That's beside the point, but I think it happened even previous to that.
Here's the thing. They are allowing you to utilize that part of the track at your own risk. So this is a conversation that happened in the drivers' meeting, whether that is part of the track or that is not part of the track. And basically after the conversation, the judges said, okay, if you want to use that part of the track, go ahead, but use it at your own risk. And this is the risk. This is the problem that it could be. There was no real contact made, so we'll have to see what they end up saying here as the judges, you know, scrutinizing exactly when that tire came off. Yeah,
and this is what they're analyzing right now. I could see, you know, our crew talking to Manoa's mom, actually, who's a spotter, and then, you know, Manoa, a great talent here. Like I was saying, Robbie gave some insight here. As soon as he left Long Beach, he went to the sim and started practicing this.
Wow.
I mean, multiple hours of laps on Long Beach, and here he is doing Atlanta. And it's so unfortunate that he saw this, but I'll tell you what, Jeff Jones sees an opportunity, and absolutely kudos to him. So. We'll see what our fans, and I know Team Rowdy's going to say some things, so we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll find out. We'll get to the bottom of this. Don't go anywhere.
In drifting, everything's a mental game.
Boom! Perfect.
If you're not focused, you're off your game.
Ryan Turk is back at it. He wants it.
Racing, battle tested in Formula Drift for the last 4 years. XPR contains Centerlick additive technology, ultimate Z DDP wear protection, and superior high temp performance. Pour Purple, Royal Purple, the synthetic expert.
Drifting is not just a sport, it's culture, it's in our blood.
It's a fine line that you have to walk. You have to be able to adapt on the fly and be able to drive on your instinct.
Tires are what we live and breathe in Formula D. We couldn't do this without them.
All right, so let's take a look at this here once again. Now, what happened here is there was contact. Here are tire debead rules. Rear tires required to make 2 consecutive runs. If they debead with no contact, you're not allowed to change the tires. But the tire may be changed in a competition timeout, only allowed to debead due to contact. If changed, both competitors may change tires. So the scenario is contact happened, so we are allowing them to change their tires.
Yep.
In addition to that, Jacob, elaborate on that.
Yeah, so it looks like there was a small amount of contact after initiation. That's what fits. That is
Yep.
the rule book. So if that didn't happen and he just went off track and that tire came off, at that point is a different story. But 2 vehicles collided.
Yep.
It's very difficult to say exactly what happened in order for that, but you can see a very small bit right there. And that's all it can take sometimes. So, and then that is the same side. As he comes up, that tire could be leaking at that point. Then he goes on the rumble strips and pulls the tire off. We would love to be able to get every single camera angle and have hypers.
We don't have wheel cams.
Yeah, enhance.
Right.
But we have to make the call for what we know now and keep things rolling.
So the scenario is they'll both get to change tires. Basically, Manoa, you know, is at a deficit. That's what it is.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they can change tires, but Manoa still had a not great run. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, so we will revisit the Jones-Manoa battle. Right now, we're moving on to Matt Field and Adam LZ. Talk about another, spoiler alert, Adam LZ trying to disrupt who I think is a real competitor for the championship. He has a lot of aggression. He is he's smooth, he's calm, but you don't see the feet underwater unless you're watching Instagram. He is absolutely all, both these guys live on the internet and social media. So here we go. Matt Field has four-lay exhaust. Heatwave Lean Customs Corvette on GT radios coming up the hill. Then you got that Drip HQ BMW of Adam LZ. Matt Field filling all that zone. Adam LZ dives in with that BMW E36, now transitioning back down out of that horseshoe. Here comes Matt Field into that final inside flip. Great angle from Matt Field. It looked like he was just flicking that car, right? It looked so feathery light.
Yeah.
And Adam LZ was kind of diving in, good proximity, but was he mimicking the angle?
Yeah, I mean, Matt Field right off the jump there, using every single bit of track. You can see Adam now starting to dial in, starting to reel Matt Field in, is using a ton of power getting up the hill. And then right in here, this is where Adam decides to make a bit of a shot. Dives in pretty quick. Matt Field keeps everything nice and right through those inner clips. This is where we start to see Matt use a bit more of a midline. Adam does a decent job at mimicking there, could have done a little bit better. And then as they come through that inner clip, Adam really tightens it up, gets a really great job at mimicking at that point. So Matt out in the lead. I really didn't see anything too massive for mistakes. Goes basically all the way through that zone. Could have been a little bit tighter on that inside clip. And then Adam in the chase does a good job mimicking right here at the end, but could have been a little bit more parallel through that transitioning point. So Yeah, I mean, these guys have battled it out a few times. You know, Matt's taken 2 wins, Adam's taken 1.
Yep.
This could balance this out. I mean, there's a little bit of history here. There's been some comments made, and
yeah. Well, Adam has, you know, he has ravenous fans. Obviously, they love what he does either on the internet. And he wasn't intended to be here. He was actually supposed to be over at Drift Masters, but some shipping mistakes and all that. So here he is. We're blessed to have him here. Super excited. But Matt Field is saying, like, yo, don't spoil my potential championship run here as Matt Field dives in, transitions in. Big mistake by Matt Field. Wow. Massive mistake by Field as Adam LZ continues on through the course. Field going into the first out. Oh! Adam makes a mistake. Okay.
Alrighty then.
Holy cow. Clutch your pearls, kids. Okay, so look at Brudski looking on, everybody looking on. That was a shock to the system. Matt had a massive mistake, but again, incomplete.
Yeah.
TBD. That's the judges. And again, they did such a good job yesterday. Hats off to Brian Eggert, Robin Ishida, and Reese Merritt. Let's look at it again. Back it up, wind it, and reverse it.
Yeah, Adam lighting off the tires as soon as he comes out of the gate. You can see here Matt getting really aggressive and then kind of loses it through this transition and smoke. And then almost over-rotates, shoots through, dives in at this point, tries to get back in the chase. Adam's lead looks really good, but he is making a ton of tire smoke. Then we see a bit of contact right there. Matt Field in the transition, taking off the back bumper of Adam. Did that affect something? Did that cause a problem?
He might have hooked him. Watch that transition. Looks like Matt might have hooked him.
It's almost like he grabbed him by the belt loop and kind of pulled it back.
Exactly.
So Matt here, kind of a desperation move. Almost drives straight, not for 2 seconds, but let's watch here as we slow things down for a better look. Into this transition, does Matt's front end, there's definitely contact. You see the bumper come off. And then right after that, Adam unwinds the car. So, man, really tough to say exactly.
Yeah, you know, and Matt had that mistake. The smoke really kind of masks exactly what transpired. Yeah. Isn't that a big hook? I mean, you know, if it's kind of the, you know, the plastic on plastic, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, there's big steel bumpers behind that.
Absolutely.
It doesn't take much to get those two like intermingled. You know, it's almost like 2 deer fighting.
Yeah, get entangled.
Yeah, exactly. So, man,
I love it. Hey, you know what? I'm here for it.
Oh, dude,
give me some popcorn.
Yeah,
this is exactly what we anticipated, and we're getting exactly what we wanted. This is the plot thickens with every single run from 32 to the podium. You know, Field running for a championship. Adam LZ, like I said, wasn't intended to be here, but now here we are, seeing Adam LZ disrupt things.
When you can see here that the judges having those conversations, conversing, making sure they're all understanding what's going on here. So let's watch this replay again. So yeah, right here, Matt Field shoots in and realizes as Adam just rockets out of it and then throws a ton of angle, fills that outside zone, comes out a little bit early, but either way, Matt is almost too close to transition. And that's what happens. I don't know if there was secondary contact after that. I mean, the drone angle there, as you know, as we're swinging over, doesn't really show it. If we had another camera angle from the side, we might be able to pull that, but
we're pretty spoiled. I'm just going to call it like it is, but the judges are going to call it like it is. Slide him left for Field or right for Adam LZ. One more time, Matt Field, and Matt Field gets the win. Matt Field, okay. Robbie, throw on your headset. You sided with Matt Field. I need some.
Oh, you did one more time.
Oh, you did one more time. I'm sorry. Okay, you switched positions. Brian, this is your job, dog. Sorry, you got to talk about it. But look at that. Even the fans are saying split decision. But again, Matt Field, one more time, and Matt Field. What, you know, you and Reese said, Matt Field, what's up?
Yeah, well, as the chase went for the second run here, Matt did have a heavy straighten through here coming into the keyhole, and then when they came through here, there was a little bit of contact, and then LZ just kind of loses drift and shuts it down. So I count both of them pretty much as having incomplete at that point. Go back to the first run. Matt's lead was pretty good. It was almost one of the top ones. The only thing that I kind of deducted LZ on in his chase for him was when they go into outer zone 2, he just didn't fully get into that zone as much as he probably should have in the chase position. So they weren't both really top tier runs because we didn't get the second run to finish. So I picked the winner and I picked Matt.
So you're saying Adam straightened under his own accord?
I think so. I don't think the contact where they touch was enough to cause him to
disrupt him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the bumper fell off, but that's the way I saw it, and I guess Reese probably saw it similar.
Reese saw it the same way, and Robbie, again, we want to see dynamic runs. I appreciate it. We'll let you go because we got cars on the line. So all right, so contact happened. There it is. Matt Field gets the win.
Yeah.
You know, again, this is these guys they did a great job yesterday. They continually, it's a tough call. Again, we'd love to have all the angles. Here we go. So we're back to the second half of the Manoa-Jones battle. Now Jones out front. Manoa has a heavy deficit. How is Jeff going to handle this? Again, that momentum, that Evo Auto Works Nissan 370Z ripping up the hill. The Prisma vehicle top on oils. Now coming in. Jeff really needs to just play it safe here. Manoa needs to throw down a heater of a run. We'll see if he can do that. Hiro Manoa. A lot of eyeballs on him, but Jeff Jones, that big drift energy, he is showing everybody that right now. Well done by Jeff Jones. Unfortunately, Manoa, hand out the window. You can see him. I don't know exactly what that implies, but
I think Jeff knew exactly what he had to do, which is put down a solid run. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to like dump it through the dirt. All I got to do is fill all the zones, get through the track, make sure I don't get past, make sure I don't do anything silly. Stay off the rumble strips, you know. I make it sound very easy, but, you know, just getting around this track is an absolute nightmare. But Jeff Jones knew exactly, you know, he understood the assignment at the end of the day. And that assignment was put down a good run, make sure I don't do anything crazy, and I'll be able to get the win.
Crazy, and like you said, Manoa, just what a talent, man. Really cool to see him just progress and just evolve. Jerry Yang Racing picking him up, and Juka Racing, a great talent. But Jeff Jones gets the win. Congratulations to him, our track worker. So Jeff Jones gets the win and advances on. Let's throw it down to Lorette Nickel with the dozer over there in the hot pits. Lorette.
And Dylan Hughes got the win, and there were some changes planned from Long Beach to here, and what were those?
Yeah, so after Long Beach, we put a new 2JZ under the hood of the C46 behind me. And the reason for that was our plan all along. Nothing happened with the engine. We just wanted to have a tried and true tested spare that we trusted. So new engine in the car, and this thing is brand new, top to bottom, inside and out. So this thing's running awesome. Link ECU's got it running great. Royal Purple flowing through the veins, of course. And then the other biggest change for the year is just MCS shocks on the car. That's been really cool to get used to, and I've been super happy with it. So got the win against my homie Trent Beecham. Big respect to Trent. Always love running him, but got the win. So we're on to a guy named James Dean. I don't know if you guys have heard of him or not.
I mean, maybe a few. What are your expectations there?
I mean, we're gonna have to push hard. I mean, that goes without saying. That dude's kind of a freak in a good way. So I got big respect for James as well. So we just got to push as hard as we possibly can, and we'll see what happens.
Hey, Dylan, best of luck. Thanks, Jared.
Thank you so much, Lorette. Great attitude there from Dylan.
James
Dean? Yeah. James Dean, never heard of him.
Nothing better than a Dylan Hughes interview.
Yeah, Dylan he does such a good. I love it, and he's a great ambassador for all the brands that he works with, Royal Purple included, GT Radial. He does such a good job. Ken Gucci, Kyle Mohan, an OG, the OG, Ken OG Gucci, the original Gucci. Kyle Mohan, another just shy of being an OG as well. You have high expectations for Mohan. I see your side eye.
Yeah.
Huh? You're like the Pointer Brothers over here. What?
I was watching him in practice, and he was running against Matt Field, and like he was on Matt Field through the whole track.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was standing up here, and I'm like, is anybody else seeing this right now?
Yes, a lot of people are seeing it.
No, it was really, really great to see. Yeah, I don't know what's different. I don't know what's changed. Maybe it's a mentality thing, but Kyle's on one.
Yeah, which would be great to see, but also on the other side of it, Ken Gucci, which again we talk about, you know, him being the OG, going through ups and downs. He's back to a 2J, under the hood of an 86. This right here, this is secret sauce right now. Here we go, Ken Gucci out front, Kyle Mohan. You talk about it, let's be about it. Ken Gucci, that Creddy, he's back with Creddy as well. Creddy, Mahdi's, Gazoo Racing. 86 coming up the hill. Kyle Mohan, good proximity there. Renewable Lubricants, Mazda Tricks, Flex Fuel, Mazda RX-80 comes in. He's got to get that proximity again. Diving in with the nose, but isn't mimicking the angle. But Gucci, whoa, God. That wall came into play. That wall's,
It's been a minute since we've seen that wall come into play.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if ever, that wall. I mean, in particular, I saw his hands.
Yeah.
Real sign of, I don't know what happened.
I think he got lost. It looks like he got lost in the smoke and tried to time out his transition and got really hard on the throttle as it came out of it. So
Pops up here. See him analyzing this.
Yeah.
I mean, fortunately, there was a lot of grass there, but that's a big hit on the back.
Yeah, that's all concrete barriers there. They're, you know, almost 3,000 pounds apiece. They're not moving. Looks like he's okay.
Yeah, of course he's okay. You know, it was the back end, but there's a lot of critical components back there, and
yeah,
you know, the Doritos sometimes they don't like being shooken up.
Yeah, so taking a look here, so Ken, big angle as he comes through there. I love how settled and set up the car is, and Kyle Mohan in the chase here starts to build that proximity. Ken pulls a bunch of angle out to get through that section. Kyle speeds the car up to get through. And then right through here, it looks like Kyle doesn't quite get on the throttle at the right time. And that's what pushes him wide immediately. Now he's sitting in the smoke. And then you can see as he tries to, instead of trying to come out of drift and get his bearings again, he keeps on the throttle. And he's already going wide at that point in time. And unless he points the car directly angled, you know, towards the exit, that's it. So he comes in with a decent amount of speed, catches that rear end, and then taps the front. So yeah, we're getting word that he did shift that concrete barrier. So that gives you, yeah, you can see it there.
Yeah,
how
look
that
at that.
concrete barrier is pushed back. That's a big old boop.
Yeah, that is a boop the snoot right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, super unfortunate. There it is. Make some noise for Kyle Mohan. Still a good attitude. Renewable Lubricants, Mazda Tricks, Vitor, Mazda RX-8. So we got to get him off track. It's going to be a moment. Here's a look at the bracket, how it's shaping up. So James Dean against Dylan Hughes, Jeff Jones versus Matt Field.
I like that one. Jeff Jones, Matt Field is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's going on, Matt?
Yeah.
What's going on? But Jeff Jones peaking.
Yeah.
The right time, man. I mean, he is striking and hitting all the notes. Matt Field, he's still, again, he had the mistake. I think he caught a lucky break there with, again, according to 2 of the 3 judges saying Adam LZ had that mistake. So, all right, Jacob. Well, guess what? Let's take a big woosah.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. We'll get Kyle Mohan, of course. This is the Type S Road to the Championship presented by AutoZone. Jared Deanna, Jacob Kens, your tour guides. The Red Nickel down on the ground, getting all the heat on the feet in more ways than one. We'll be right back here at Road Atlanta, round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship.
Like that now, do you want more? Yeah, I get hype, yeah, I get raw. To the up and down on the dance floor. Do you like that now, do you want more? Yeah, I get hype, yeah, I get raw. Shout to the north side, shout to the south, east to the west, yeah, we're going out. Do you like that now, do you want more? Yeah, I get hype, yeah, I get 4, 3, 2, 1. Shout to the north side, shout to the south, step to the up and down on the dance floor. Do you like that now, do you want more? Yeah, I get hype, yeah, I get raw. Shout to the north side, shout to the south, east to the west, yeah, we're going out. If you're in town, then give me a shout. Why you on that? To the north side, shout to the south, step to the up and down on the dance floor. Do you like that now, do you want more? Yeah, I get hype, yeah, I get raw. Shout to the north side, shout to the south, east to the west, yeah, we're going out. If you're in town, then give me a shout. Why you on that? Take it back to your house.
I'm Ryan Turk, and I'm super proud to announce Rain-X's all-new wiper blade design, the Turkin SUV Heavy Duty Series.
Whoa, whoa, cut! Ryan, it's the truck and SUV blade. It says it right there.
These new blades are specifically designed for truck and SUV windshields. They're tougher and built for rugged weather. Like I said, the all-new Rain-X truck and SUV blade, engineered not to be turked in tough conditions and built for your truck or SUV. Get a pair today, only at AutoZone. I mean, I still like the idea of a Turkin SUV blade.
Turn your passion into a career at the University of Northwestern Ohio. From high performance to automotive, diesel, and everything in between, you'll find a degree that will get you a job.
Students that go through our programs have fantastic experiences and they come out getting good job placements.
70% hands-on, no out-of-state tuition, and accredited degrees in trades that are in high demand all across the country.
10 out of 10. If you even think this is the right place for you, you better just go.
Learn more about your future at unoh.edu.
This season, Toyota Racing is looking for jaw droppers.
Break for Martin Truex right there, the fastest lap of the day.
Iron stomachs that can stand the pressure. And quick draw thumbs that leave their own smoke trail. So hold on tight and strap yourself in. This season, we want you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
tires just rip.
Been holding power you make for 30 years. But here's the real question. How much torque are you making? Because every single ACT clutch is rated by the torque produced at the crank. That's all your clutch cares about. Your power, your performance, your success. Unrivaled precision, power, and durability. Visit advancedclutch.com today. 30 years of precision engineering and performance excellence. Because every revolution starts at the crank.
Hello, everyone. Top 32, lots of fun things going on, like Jeff Jones taking the win. And there was a few things that you were replacing right before that battle, you were telling me.
Yeah, I mean, that was simple stuff. We had a V-band clamp that we had to replace, so we didn't get much laps in there. But I had plenty of laps in the seating bracket, so had the momentum going into it, you know. Car's feeling dialed. Kumho tires are working, you know. Evil Auto Works sent me here on a good plan, so we're doing pretty good.
I love that for you. So if the car is feeling dialed, how is the driver feeling?
Oh, man, I love Atlanta. You know I love Atlanta. And so, like, that run right there, it's not often you get a pass. And so when I saw it, I'm like, ooh, I'm taking it, buddy. So, sorry.
Gotta go for it.
Yeah, had to put homeboy to bed.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I can't remember who told me. I thought maybe it was you that the conditions on the track are changing. Is that true?
Yeah, so when I was driving, you know, it was 2 days ago. It was after the rain. Track temps are totally different, you know, a few days ago. So we were assuming air pressure needed to go down, but we were actually going up because of the grip levels. And then today, it's like totally hot. And then, you know, tonight it's going to get cold. So track temps are a big thing here, focusing on where you need to be with that and kind of just predicting with some math. But, you know, we hit it. I think we were like 11 PSI, and the Kumho tires are just dialed, so we're good.
Okay. And the conditions, are they slippery right now?
I'd say that they're definitely slipperier than they were on Thursday. Okay. Yeah, because we were like floating around 14, chilling there. And so just to accommodate that, but yeah. Okay. You know, I'm just getting warmed up right now, man. So now I got to think about the dance. What are we going to do?
I don't know. What are you going to
join us?
Nope.
Nope. That answer was quick. You know.
Yeah, no, I'll watch. I'll be a big fan of yours.
Yeah. You know, we got to have some fun with it. You know, it helps me get the nerves out. So it is what it is.
I love that.
You know?
Jeff, thank you so much. Guys.
Jeff's having too much fun, man. Big drift energy. Again, he gave a lot of insight there, but let's go in car. We're riding with Dylan Hughes, getting buffed up here. Got those Momo gloves, getting a grip on the wheel. And like you said, Jacob, what a great interview Dylan Hughes is. I know GT Radio's got some cool stuff going on here this next week. Dude, Alex Jager last night, that new Dove Gray Steal It vehicle, Human Rahimi. A great show yesterday, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, if you like, I don't want to watch Pro Spec, you missed out.
Dude.
It's probably the best we've ever seen Pro Spec.
Absolutely.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good.
And I'll tell you, we grew to that. Like, again, the roots, you know, they're kind of getting their ground, watering the plant, you know, where plants grow from, fertilizer, where's fertilizer from? You know, it wasn't ideal, but then it grew and grew and grew, and then boom, TLO, dude, Tommy Lemaire. Wow.
Yeah.
But this right here, we're taking a look, different highlights. We're bouncing around here. This is from seating, you know, just over there's TLO.
Yeah. Yeah, against St. Chen, you see a little boop there. You can see really how close they are. You can see like kind of the speed that comes through it. And then moving back over to Jeff Jones, Brad Dan. I love this shot. I mean, really shows you just like how fast these cars are, how crazy this whole thing is. Like, what an insane sport. How did we come to this?
I think a lot of us are along for the ride, you know, but overall, I'm so proud to be part of this DNA, and you know, psych, you know, we just got a hug from Chris Stewart of Grid Life, and you know, he just what Grid Life has done and all this, but guess what? Unfortunately, Kyle Mohan is out. Kenshiro Gucci.
No.
Yeah, trying to go for that backwards entry. But I don't know what he's trying to do there, to be quite honest. But
he's giving the people what they want.
Doing it for the fans.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's what the kids want.
That camera angle too is like such a throwback.
Yeah.
Like that Dutch angle, like a little off to the side kind of thing. I love it. It reminds me of really like the old days of this track.
Yeah.
When everything was kind of filmed crooked. I don't know. It was like a big style in the 2000s.
Okay, whatever MTV Spring Break. Dan Cortez, MTV Sports Base, how low can you go? Yeah, that's sorry, I just aged myself there.
No, you're good.
The Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32, Jonathan Hurst, the pride of Paducah, going against Forrest Wang. Get Nuts Laboratory. If you got a nut allergy, steer clear, because these guys are about to get. Oh my gosh, look at this setup, bro. Is that a oh, Land Cruiser? I thought it was a Volvo, and they panned out. Yo, solid setup. My man's got flamingos. My girl's got the Drift Wizard hat. Lamping and glamping right there. That's what's cracking. Well done. Love it.
The flamingos just get me.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a little thing.
I have a flamingo tattoo. Oh, it's on my back.
Oh.
I do have a tattoo of a pink flamingo. All right, here we go. Regardless, who's going to get the tattoo of moving on from 32 to 16? Here, the Rockstar Energy Drink. Top 32. Shout out to my boy Mateus and the Rockstar gang. Here we go. The XLR. This thing is a weapon. Loving it. Absolutely exotic looking. And of course, everybody loves Forrest Wang. Styles for miles as well. Oh, look at that. Pouring some angle on me. Wow. Look at that. Coming up the hill. And snaps back with just as much angle. Mr. Cool, that's his name. That name again is Mr. Cool. Woo! Jonathan Hurst. The angle he just threw back to back, side to side, right in front of Forrest Wang. And Forrest Wang is known for that big angle. And he was even deeper. Dude, get a protractor out. This gentleman is absolutely on one.
Jonathan Hurst just tried to out Forrest Wang. That's what we just saw there. Look at this initiation. 90 degrees coming through the inside clip. Could have been a little bit deeper. Sets the car up really smooth and snappy. Up the hill, get a bit more angle, then pours on the angle. Sets the car up perfectly through this outside zone. Forrest Wang, I think, was like in a little bit of shock, going, what am I looking at here? As we see Jonathan Hurst come down, using a midline, sucking it in a little bit more. I mean, Forrest behind him did a great job. Like, that.
My jaw is on the ground right now. I'm just watching that run, listening to you talk, and watching that overhead was such a great angle. And the degree of angle he had, but also it was set.
Yeah.
It was very settled. And Forrest Wang was just, I think, flabbergasted.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, that was insane. Here we go. So Forrest Wang needs to really put down a solid run. But look at this. Jonathan Hurst, he's back there quite a bit. Now here he is playing catch-up. So maybe, you know, Hurst was maybe run a little bit slower. And here's Forrest Wang, who has so much style, and he was really criticized for maybe being slow, but Jonathan Hurst obviously popping and locking his way through. We didn't hear that on his first run, so maybe he pedaled it back, and that's what allowed him to give that compromise there. Really sloppy in that chase run. As dynamic as that lead run was, Forrest Wang was clean out front, sterile, but Hurst had a lot of mistakes there in that chase run.
Yeah, he definitely got caught a little bit off that launch. I don't think he was expecting Forrest Wang to quite have that kind of speed. I mean, Forrest's driving style is still very stylish, but he has increased the amount of speed that he's got in the car, and you can see that distance that we see there. Forrest Wang out front looks good through that first outside zone, throws a bunch of angle on, very similar to what Jonathan did in the previous run. The difference is, though, Forrest was able to hang on, ride the coattails of Jonathan Hurst through that run, where Jonathan definitely got gapped there right off the bat, which is pretty crazy. I mean, Jonathan is known for his speed, his aggressiveness, and we basically saw a role reversal between both. Judges right now signaling for a side-by-side, so I think they want to take a look at those, basically at those lead runs to see who had a better job there. I think in the chase, we really understand, but Forrest did have some, I wouldn't say mistakes, but some things he could have improved on in the chase. So Jonathan did get things dialed in here after the keyhole. So if we start to divide the track basically before the keyhole and then after the keyhole, we're going to start to see what's going on. So,
there we are. Look at 5. People are saying Wang. Look at the people down there. Who's place your bets. If you haven't placed your bets, all right. One more time. You're all over the board, bro.
Yeah.
You're all over the board. Say one more. Make a decision. Well, there's only 3 gentlemen that can dictate that. Here we are, our BC Racing Go for Gold side by side, the official suspension up on the Drift BC Racing.
Yeah, you can see the difference in proximity between the 2 cars. So that I think that what they're looking for is any other mistakes that Forrest might have made or any other problems that we'd have here. And as we come through this section, this is where Jonathan's chase does get a little bit better, but Forrest does have a really, really good job through there. Now, Jonathan has got better proximity through the last part of this course. So.
Yeah. I mean, assessing that right there, I think they're really analyzing the scene, defaulting back, because unfortunately, Hurst's chase run was lackluster.
Yeah.
And I think they're really looking at what Forrest Wang did in his chase position, recounting that. Because I think we were all really impressed by Jonathan Hurst's lead run. You were kind of enamored with the placement and the degree of angle, but I think it's going to come down to the chase runs, and that's what we're going to see here reflected in the outcome here. So as amazing as the lead run was, you got to bring it on both sides.
Yeah.
So Forrest Wang does exactly that, gets the win, but hey, Mr. Cool, Pride of Paducah, hats off to you. Yeah, look at that. You guys called it. Forrest Wang gets the win and advances on Get Nuts Laboratory. Again, the 808, great run by Cash Racing, Jonathan Hurst, Mr. Cool, Cadillac XLR. Great show, but anybody can win, and you got to bring it on both sides, like I said.
Yeah, you can't just win with one side of the run. So yeah, I mean, it was really cool to see Jonathan do something that I don't think we've ever really seen him drive like that before.
Right. Look at those names, dude. You know, from Sammy Hubinette back in the first year, Reese Millen, Sam Hubinette, again, Faust, Forsberg, Yoshihara. Give respect to Daigo Saito, Essa. You know, Forsberg winning 3, the first ever 3-time champ. Then Freddie, and then Frederick Osbo. You know, again, just love the livery. The new suit looks great. The kind of off-white vanilla, cream, almost French vanilla looking. That Rockstar energy drink. Toyota GR Super going against Joao Barrion, who we saw on seating night. That thing was sucked to the ground.
Yeah, and it looks like Joao Barrion.
It's a fly run.
So
let's lay out, listen.
Yeah.
Shh. Enjoy the silence. Making quick work there, a bye run. Unfortunately, don't know exactly what happened to Joao Barrion, but he's not here. Just pieced out? Okay. Okay, so Joao, unfortunately not in the building. He's not here, so a quick experience. Oh, hey, Lorette, what's cooking in the field camp, man?
Well, I think what's cooking with Matt Field is that last battle with LZ. From your point of view, what did you see?
I did my best to do a good lead run. I really think I checked all the boxes on that. Obviously, he was there. I knew I had to apply pressure. Kind of just initiated too early, and that happens here. It's so easy to do. I saw him start to initiate, and I was like, let's go, and it was just a little bit too early. So my mistakes were kind of all due to the initiation. I feel I got a little bit lucky there with whatever happened to his car, not being able to complete that transition. I wasn't sure, of course, you never are, and when we got awarded the win, I'm like, okay, thank goodness. Huge shout out to the boys, honestly. They were the reason why we're even able to get through this battle. We found, it's so crazy. You have the best of the best stuff, and no matter what, cars break. And my hat's off to my team because they were the only reason why we're able to even get through practice on Thursday and get through practice today and even get to this battle. So hopefully we can continue on. Hopefully I can clean up those mistakes. I'd like to give you guys a good show. I absolutely love Road Atlanta. I love the crowd. I was just telling you, listen to drive this track. It's fun, it's fast, it's hard, it's exciting. So I hope I get to continue on, and we'll see what happens, and hopefully we can wind up on the podium.
Matt has a great checklist to start knocking things off. We're sure you can do it. Matt, thanks.
And not to mention, we got a lot of work to do right now to get ready for top 16.
Some great insight there from Matt Field. Thank you so much. As we just saw Kazuya Taguchi versus Stuki. Stuki versus Taguchi. That's a good one.
Yeah, the tongue twister here is going to be tough. So Taguchi with a bit more of a straight line approach, which is interesting. I would have expected a bit more of a flick. And then Stuki in on the chase. You can see is the lightest car we have right now in FD. Very darty, very quick. Taguchi being very smooth there through that outside zone, and Stuki, that dartiness you can start to see, pulling some of the angle out. Taguchi just buttery smooth through this entire track. I mean, this is how we had the perfect event in St. Louis, is by driving like this. Stuki in the chase, not too bad. Just aggressive in kind of the wrong places.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. Just where he was diving in, it was either a little bit late or a little bit early in the spots that he should have. But now he's going to go out front. This is like I said, it's a very darty car. It's energetic. Yeah. Light like that, you can see every input. That's the only downside.
Well, with him being out front, it might be even more apparent, or he's going to risk it a little bit more because Taguchi, as smooth as he is, he might be smooth. See, again, that's what we like to see, that mimicking of the angle. Like you said, that darting in, and there he is in that second outside zone. Daniel Stuki, car looks great. It's performing really well, but out front, you know, Kazuya Taguchi, he falls off a little bit. That up garage Jerry Yang Racing vehicle, ISR Performance now coming back up the hill. Up garage having a grand opening in Southern California the other day. Everybody came out to that, man. It was a party, but let's look at it again here. Alternating position, Stuckey up front.
Yeah, so Stuckey with a bit more of a swing out, getting that feint initiation in, and then Kazuya does not really apply a ton of pressure here, and you can see Stuckey wavering a little bit as they come up that hill. Doesn't get into the second outside zone until a bit later. Taguchi doing a good job of making sure he's not in too tight, but keeping proximity. I would have liked to see him a lot closer. Stuckey running a much tighter inside line there, and then as they come up the hill, you know, Taguchi just holding the proximity. Really, there was only one kind of big mistake there from Stuckey, just coming into the second outside zone pretty late. Leaves the first outside zone a little bit early, and that's actually what pushes him kind of late into the second outside zone.
Just, you know, I feel like we've just ripped through the first half, excuse me, of the 32, the Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32. We're gonna get a victory here. I really like the format. Really just only rewarding close matches to go one more time. I think we'll have a victor here overall between Daniel Stuckey and Kazuya Taguchi. Good effort, and this is just another testament to 32 is sometimes the hardest battle of them all, but to your point, I think Stuckey was a little too darty, didn't mimic that angle. Kazuya Taguchi could have been closer. He's got to tighten it up because guess what? He's going against Frederick Osbo in the top 16, so he's going to need to get some more proximity there. Guess what? We'll take a short break here as Rain X, Ryan Turk, another Rockstar Energy Drink pilot, as Kazuya Taguchi moves on. Daniel Stuckey out. This is Type S Road to the Championship, presented by AutoZone. Let's listen to good old, what is it? What's the saying from New Hampshire? Live free or die. Get in where you fit in. There we go with Ryan Turk.
What's up, guys? We're here at Formula Drift Atlanta, and we now have a full event under our belts with the new B58 inline 6-cylinder engine, and there are some pros and some cons. One of the cons being the engine is a lot longer and there's a lot more cylinders over the front axle, and that makes the chassis a little bit more lazy on transition. So there's some chassis setup stuff that we can do to try to fix that and help that. It'll never be the same as having a lightweight 4-cylinder in there. That's a lot further set back, but we're getting it pretty dialed in. And then obviously the biggest pro to the engine is just having the capability of more horsepower. And when you're on some of these bank tracks and here in FD Atlanta on the uphill, you want all the power that your engine can give you. And it's feeling amazing, and we're getting dialed in, and the transitions are getting better. So take it from Turk. There are pros and cons to every upgrade that you do to your car.
Is this it?
This is it! Passionate about a life in racing? Circle track, drag racing, drifting, or monster jam. Find it all at the University of Northwestern Ohio.
The passion here is very different than I've seen in any other school. You guys set them up very, very well to succeed and to win in a big-time way.
The fact there's a school you can go to for racing is just a little bit insane, but it's very cool because it gives kids like me the opportunity to chase that dream.
See where your future can take you with a high-performance motorsports degree from the University of Northwestern Ohio.
If you think the only thing that really matters
is how fast you can go, we want you.
Join us at Toyota Racing.
So the next step was to get this thing on a proper ECU, especially with all the technology that Link has to offer.
Which should give us full communication and full control over all the sensors.
But so far, being able to log in and review every lap has been a huge plus.
To have Link pull through and step up for us and just help us out to be able to all pull it together.
That's all we need. Simple, cheap, easy, works, good ECU, weatherproof.
It's got enough IOs too, like we're doing tons of stuff. Oil, fuel pressure, boost control.
All those features I have thanks to the Link ECU.
Well, guys, Adam LC, I talked to Matt Field and I got his side of the perspective, and I wanted to get yours as well.
Sure. Before I say anything, I just want to preface this that Matt Field, I look up to him a lot. He's an incredible driver, great dude. Although I do not agree with the call, no hard feelings against Matt. He's a phenomenal driver. I think he did everything that he would have had to do. And I also want to bring attention to the fact that the hardest job in this entire place is the judges, and I do not fault them at all for my fact that I disagree with their call. What essentially happened, I was doing the same lead I'd done every single time. Matt had made a big mistake. He was playing catch-up. He had to do everything he possibly could to try to guarantee a win. And when I was coming to transition from the inner clip down the hill, he made contact with the rear of my car, and what that did is it pushed me to my lock stops on my car, and if I had stayed in the gas, I would have instantly spun out. I did not want to leave it in the judges' hands if they weren't able to see the contact, so I chose to shut down, understanding that he impeded my lead line and there would be no way for me to complete my lead. Again, the judges have the hardest job in this entire venue. I don't fault them for not realizing that, but I am I don't want to say disappointed, but I'm sad that we don't have the ability to protest, because I think that this is the perfect scenario where the judges being able to take a second look and understanding that I was unable to complete my lead, I would get the win. So he did a lead, I did an okay chase. He made big mistakes in the chase, and I wasn't given the chance to complete my lead. So I think that I should have won that battle.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just again, that I consider Field a friend, the judges friends, no hard feelings towards them. This is just, I don't hate the players. I hate the game right now, you know?
Adam, thank you very much for your insight.
All right, some great insight there from Adam LZ. Again, just different perspective, different angle. And again, I love what he said. He gives respect where respect is due. Don't hate the player, hate the game. And guess what? The game, sometimes you get burnt. Simon Olsen, Ryan Littoral, as we're about to see Simon Olsen, who got second at round one, currently second in points. Ryan Littoral, Sunoco Race Fuels Extreme, Sim Magic, Kenda Tires. He is definitely proven to be here, but he's going against currently second in points, Simon Olsen, in that Field Suspension GT Radial S15. Simon Olsen on a tear. Two different builds, two very similar chassis. But look at this, Simon Olsen, woo! Look at Ryan Littoral coming in to that second inside. Oh, we got contact. Oh, he stayed in it, and then Simon Olsen shuts it down. Coming out of that horseshoe, now snapping back, Ryan Littoral finishes out. So again, you saw Simon Olsen try to reinitiate and get back out there, so, you know, hey, we've seen this story, but two different outcomes. We'll see how that unfolds.
Yeah, so this ends up playing out very similar to what just happened with Adam LZ, but let's take a look here. Simon Olsen doing a good job with initiation, and we're seeing Mr. Littoral there doing a phenomenal job in the chase, mirroring the angle here. A little bit later as he comes into this section, then Simon really tight there, and you can see in that case very clear the impedance that happened. So this is kind of the difference between this situation and what happened with Adam, where right here you can see when they transition out that Ryan is too tight in, and
he's impeding.
Yeah, and
he impedes on the transition.
Where I really, in the Adam situation, there's a ton of smoke in there, and it, I guess, wasn't as apparent in that situation as it was here. So very similar, the difference being what we're able to see at the time of that happening.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and again, the chase driver, to just elaborate and expand on that, basically, you know, with Ryan Littoral, he needs to be aggressive. He knows who he's going against. Simon Olsen, he's on a tear. He's absolutely delivering. We saw that in the wet. We know he's a capable driver. The combination of him, you can see him coming out of that zone. That's not a decel area. He needs to be aggressive. Was Simon slowing down? It didn't seem like it, but Ryan needed to be aggressive. He's right there. It looks like he impeded on the transition of Simon coming out of the keyhole. We'll see how, again, take a look at the different angles here. We're going overhead here with Justin Smash, the FPV. So again, a lot of electricity. I think we got a lot of momentum. really good energy right now in 32, so we're going to keep this momentum going. So they are deeming Ryan Literal at fault. It is official. So again, let's take a look at it again. Jacob, walk us through it.
Yeah, so Simon Olsen, as he comes up the hill here, good job through this first outside zone, adds a bit more angle. Ryan does a good job to mirror it, and then Simon gets out of that second outside zone just a touch early. So come through the inside clip, you can see it there. You can see how much Simon gets pushed out of drift in that case. It looks like he tries to light it up again afterwards, but my guess is that may have pulled the tire off as well because it catches him right on the wheel. So, yeah, Simon's not able to do anything at that point.
Yeah, and we are getting word. So again, to repeat that, Literal is at fault, so Ryan is calling a competition timeout. He needs to utilize his competition timeout, which is a 5-minute allotment. Simon Olsen is allowed 10 minutes without utilizing his competition timeout due to the contact.
And he could take another 5 after that if they need to. That being said, I mean, it doesn't look like damage is too severe. Maybe a control arm. You know, it's not going to be too.
You never know.
Yeah,
you never know, man.
True,
you know, like you said, he could have hooked something there, but overall, to your point, at first glance, doesn't look too aggressive.
No.
How we doing out there, Atlanta? Make some noise. Come on now, let everybody create the FOMO, baby. Talk about Formula Drift. Wish you were here. And if you haven't seen, support Formula Drift. Pick up your Speed Fit steering wheel cover. If you have not seen this, it's got the quick snap, easy clasp. So go and check that out. The steering wheel cover, customizable fit, hassle-free installation. Available at your local AutoZone or online at AutoZone.com. So pick one up. Let everybody know you're a Formula Drift fan with your Speed Fit steering wheel cover. There we are looking at the pits. Simon Olsen, the Norwegian flag. I saw one on the ground over the Team Rowdy pit. So we got some Norwegian fans over there cheering them on. Make sure you Norwegians reapply that SPF, man. You guys are going to burn quick. Looking like bacon on a frying pan right now. Robert Thorne, man, what a ledge. But he's going against Castro. Yeah. I feel like Castro, he's doing, dude, this guy is going to the Nordic. He's speaking of Norway, he's been bouncing all over the place. You know, he's back home in his home country, Dominican Republic. But Thorne, I'll tell you what, he's flying that grid life flag. He's, you know, traditional road racer. He's a weapon behind the wheel and grip. But now he's made the jump over to drift, and he's a great spokesperson. Look at that! That wide swing, no gripping right there. He's slipping into that first inside clip. Jonathan Castro pushes that out of the way. Castro jumping up the hill. Here comes Robert Thorne, first outside zone. In that ASM, he's teamed up with Josh Love, who got in the box last night. Into that second inside clip. Castro pushed him out of the way. Talking about that clip once again. Now coming back down the hill, red, white, and blue, but different kind. Red, white, and blue, the American, and the DR, Dominican Republic. Now coming up. Woo! Robert Thorne. Every rose has its thorn, and this might be the rose bush right now, but Castro trying to play spoiler.
I think someone programmed party mode into Robert Thorne's car because he is driving with more style than we've ever seen come out of Robert Thorne. Traditionally very analytical, very calculated, but we see him throw this car out. And speaking of analytical and very calculated, Jonathan Castro does a really good job here in the chase. Does not panic, does get a little bit of a gap put on him, but doesn't panic, doesn't dart the car out. Decides, hey, I'm gonna keep a good line, I'm gonna keep good angle and sacrifice some proximity here, which, you know, we often think, oh, proximity over everything. In this case, I think it was the smartest move. He doesn't look panicked. He didn't look like he freaked out. I mean, he definitely could have done a bunch of different things there, but yeah, Robert Thorne out front, really cool to see how his driving is changing and progressing. And yeah, Jonathan Castro behind him doing a good job and not getting out of sorts.
Yeah, and I like exactly what you said. This is the most stylish we've seen Robert Thorne, like I was just saying, kind of a testimonial to his road racing. He needs to kind of, you know, release that demon and get wild here. But Castro, he's going for it right now. I'm sure his spotter's in his ear saying, you got to push, man, because Thorne, he is possessed. But Castro says, no, Poppy, here we go. Oh, Thorne almost rubbing tire here against that Kenda tire, the LTH GR86, and Thorne falls back. Let's break it there from Thorne. Want to see that angle because we did see that FPV drone. Want to make sure we get that overhead on that last clip. That could be detrimental to Thorne. Again, not an incomplete. Again, these are all deductions, not incompletes.
Right. So, big difference in initiation there. Castro using a bit of more of a midline approach as opposed to the big swing that we saw with Thorne. But right here you can already see Thorne getting a bit out of sorts. Castro pushing the car out there, and then Thorne surging ahead. This is the difference in the chase here, where Thorne I wouldn't say panicking, but being very aggressive in his decisions to catch up. Whereas Castro, cool, calm, collected. I mean, you look at the side of his trailer, it looks like he's on the beach. Looks like he's at the beach right now. He's chilled right out. I caught up with him earlier this weekend. They made some changes to the car. There's I won't get into all the details, but he trusts everything in the car. He's happy with it. He's comfortable. He told me when we started, he's like, you're going to see a different me. You're going to see me back in final form, and this is it. This is very calm, collected. And then Robert Thorne, a little bit of panic mode there. You can see a little bit of panic mode.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And again, just that's the difference of getting that clean air in the first run. You get a little maybe false confidence, you know, and then like you said, I love what you said there about Castro saying you got to entrust your equipment. You got to trust your skill, and then it goes into motion, because what you can't control is, one, the weather, two, who you're going to go against, and who you're going against, you know, like the beast. So, you know, Robert Thorne, let's take a look at it here. What do you think?
Yeah, you can see the difference, massive difference in the way they both initiate. And watching the chase here, normally we watch the lead in these, but look at the difference in proximity, but how they gain that proximity. So Thorne darting in really, really hard there, whereas Castro being very smooth and calculated. You don't see major corrections coming from Castro while he's in the chase. Maybe he doesn't have the most proximity, but he's not drawing attention to that lack of proximity. When you dart the car in, when you decide to grip it up, you know, you're going to come off throttle a little bit to grip the car and then get back on throttle. Those big adjustments are what the judges see first.
Yep.
If you can make subtle, sly adjustments or cut a bit of a corner here or there, kind of like, you know, kind of slip it past.
Yeah.
They may not notice it as much.
Hey, we're getting an update here from Lorette Nichols. It's great. She texts us here. She says, Simon, there's an arm and an axle actually broken. Okay. There was no more movement in the suspensions. Odie is saying the shock may be fine, though. So just get an update from her via text. We text here back and forth. So giving us some great updates here, even though chug, stay hydrated, bro. Yeah, heck yeah. Stay hydrated, bro. H2O. H2 bro, that's what I call you. Slide of left for Robert Thorne, right for Jonathan Castro. One more time. Jonathan Castro, and Jonathan Castro gets the win, 2-1. Again, pressing that. So Edgar, you're judge 1. Brian is judge 1. Robbie Nishida judge 2. And then Reese is judge 3. So Robbie and Reese Marin saying Castro gets the win, and came down to that second run there. Castro, a little more calm, a little cooler. Again, that's just like, hey, do what you got to do. Set it in motion. Don't get crazy. You can't win in 32. You got to keep swimming.
Well, I guess Brian saw a couple things in the lead where they both had some mistakes there. And Brian's got a real keen eye. He would have seen those small adjustments.
Wow. Yeah. Baby, Nick Novak. Here we go. Nick Novak coming down the hill. Kenna Tires, Novak Racing, BMW. But Rad Dan. Ooh, look at that angle from Novak. Rad Dan, front row, that Rad Industries, GT Radial Mark IV. Now coming into that, whoa, Novak gets into the dirt. Giving the sand people what they want over there. They get blasted over there. Don't worry, they'll come back in greater numbers too. That Novak Racing, BMW coming down the hill. You can barely see him through that smoke. Wow. Exploding that inside clip. Novak, like he was like a bucking Bronco coming out of the what do you call it, the pin? You know, the pro, like you see that bull coming out, he just came out swinging.
Yeah, Nick Novak lighting off the tires the moment that light goes off and just speeding through this, but still holding angles, still filling the zones. Like, this is a very, very fast run. Well, Rad Dan behind him now. That speed did mess him up a little bit, pushing him really wide through the second outside zone. And Rad Dan, I mean, trying to find an answer to it right now, and Nick Novak just throwing the smoke screen up to the whole thing. Tons of wheel speed out of there, got that car gripped right up. Man, he is making the most of those Kenda tires, that is for sure.
Yeah, now this is where it gets interesting, right? We saw that really dynamic lead run from Robert Thorne. How is he going to chase down Rad Dan? You know, Dan's gotten a lot of track time, you know, considering that he, you know, was forced into the seating brackets, right? And then here's Novak, who's, you know, signed, sealed, and delivered. So how is that going to favor Novak or Dan?
And to add to the weight, if you're losing here, there's a good chance you're in the seating bracket coming up. So there's a lot of pressure in top 32 now.
Right, yeah, that's a great thing for bringing that up. Here we go. Rad Dan Burkett out front. Nick Novak in the chase position. So mom and dad here cheering him on. Dan Burkett's wife, Renee, up in the booth. Great looking car. And here we go. So look at this. Here's Dan Burkett. Right into that second outside zone. Filtered about 3/4, but that allows Nick Novak good proximity. Novak backs off. Maybe too much room there. Exiting the horseshoe, now coming into that last inside clip. Dan Burkett right there, so a little tidier.
Yeah.
Right, so a little more clinical. Nick Novak going for that wild bucket Bronco. Dan a little smoother, kind of iron the sheets. So that was well done by Dan Burkett out front.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to need a side-by-side, but Rad Dan's lead run definitely was a little bit more controlled. Nick's was wild and aggressive, which I love to see, but can see here, Rad Dan able to hold it through the second outside zone, while Nick Novak can see him fighting at that wheel. You can literally see it from this drone point of view as he makes all those corrections. So I think what it's going to come down to is, was Nick Novak's run so aggressive that it made it difficult for Rad Dan to chase, whereas Dan's lead run was really, it was smooth, it was precise. So it's going to be a really difficult call here.
I think this is very comparable to that of Castro and we saw Thorne. Here's
Right.
Olsen. Look at that. So again, the 10-minute allotment. Where are we at with Olsen in 10 minutes? It's getting close to 10 minutes, but again, considering he can call a competition timeout, which would be another additional 5 minutes, which, you know, gets a little hairy there. Got Simon Spotter up here talking to Chris Ewell, breaking things down, and Lorette gives us about 1 minute 20 seconds here left. So a minute left, but he can call an additional competition timeout. Look at this side by side. What stands out to you?
Just really the aggressiveness that we see from Nick Novak's run there. And when we start to look at the chase, I mean, Rad Dan did kind of blow that inner clip through the keyhole. And then as we start to look at the proximity dialing in, they're pretty even through this section. Both of them had some mistakes in the chase. Both of them had some mistakes in the lead. They weren't egregious, though. It wasn't ridiculous. It wasn't like, oh, this is a terrible run.
Right.
There was a number of small mistakes that happened. The biggest one being Nick Novak's, kind of blowing out of the water that second outside zone, but Dan's chase wasn't great through that section either. Yeah, so lots to mull over. Obviously, judges kind of trying to understand what needs to happen when it comes to the amount of mistakes. It used to be very much a lead versus lead, chase versus chase. Now it's more all-encompassing. So
it's kind of all combined.
Yeah, big melting pot of mistakes.
Here we go. Slide him left for Novak or right for Dan Burkett. Novak gets 1 vote. Burkett gets 2 votes, 1 vote, and there we go. Gets 2 votes. Dan Burkett gets the win. And again, that was Robbie Nishida, Reese Marin. Novak signing there, and Robbie, I could see elaborating there to Eggert. Reese shaking his head in agreement there. So Dan Burkett, and I agree with that call. Unfortunately, Dan overcooked it on outside zone 2. Dan Burkett was tempered, like the dynamicism, if that's a word.
It is now.
Okay, on Nick Novak's lead run, but this is where we're shaping up right now. You can see the yellow names; they have advanced on. The white names are still TBD. So and. Yeah, that is correct right there. So we still have the second half of the Olsen literal battle, but we'll advance on. We got that of Ryan Turk and Alec Robbins. So take it from Turk. We'll see how this Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla, he's on those Nitto tires, the Rockstar Energy Drink Pilot, going against Alec Robbins from Beckman, Minnesota. All right, here comes Ryan Turk into that first inside clip, and Alec Robbins ripping into that first inside clip, punches out of the way. The Koenig wheels go round. Now to that second outside zone. Wraps in the Kenda tires. Now to that second inside clip goes Ryan Turk. That hot hatchback making the jump to a bigger engine. I think that's definitely going to equate to, look at that.
Yeah.
Just the attitude of that car has completely shifted. Jekyll and Hyde, the highly wound 4-cylinder that they've been campaigning for so many years, says, you know what, let's throw a bigger engine in that thing.
One of the biggest differences with that engine is going to be the torque, which is going to allow them to re-gear this car a little bit different than what they had before, which makes that keyhole experience just way better, and that's what we see here with Turk. I don't know exactly what gearing they're running or where he's shifting, but it looks very smooth. You're not seeing him break smoke at any point in time. Great run there from Ryan Turk, absolutely textbook from the veteran. Alec Robbins did look like he was struggling a little bit to keep up here. So taking a look at this initiation here, Alec Robbins does a good job, and Turk is already able to just push things through. And now we start to see through this outside zone, Alec trying to reel in the car, and then Turk just putting on the power at this point, pushing to a much wider line. You can see by the tracks there how wide he's running through there, which is totally allowed.
Yep.
We don't have that inside clip anymore. This is what we talked about. Really changes the way that you can attack this course.
All right, so taking a look here. So we are hearing a couple things, couple updates from the officials. Competition timeout has been called for Simon Olsen. So 10 minutes has eclipsed. There is, so again, 2 minutes left of the 5 minutes that he had to call. So it was quite a substantial hit.
Yeah.
What we thought, and this is to the point, right?
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen, but suspension, all this, they're dropping down, which is good. But also, Alec Robbins, he just called the competition timeout. So again, you know, all things considered, Simon Olsen called his comp timeout. He goes against Ryan Little, has a bit of advantage, but is it a disadvantage with that shock to his system?
You gotta hope that they can get all the alignment done and everything else. I mean, it's a great team. I mean, but hey, boss man, he's getting ready to battle, so that's one less hand that they can throw on the car at this point in time. So
yeah. So speaking of Simon Olsen, here's Odie Bakshis, who's thinking about Simon Olsen, right? Amy, his wife, is up here navigating all this. We got spotter, we got this, we got a lot of things going on. Guess what? The pressure cooker. We're gonna have one sweet meal when this thing is all done. Here goes Odie Bakshis, who's currently 3rd in points, going against 2-time Prospect champion, making the jump to pro, Mr. Dimitri Brutsky, never settle. Coming up into that first outside zone, Odie Bakshis. But look at Brutsky, he's had a lot of track time, goes into the dirt, both of them. Whoa, Brutsky gets aggressive. Unfortunately, it bites back. Brutsky, the track bites back. I mean, Odie, look at this. I mean, this is looking like Torque Drift, the video game. Just the way he navigates that track. These S chassis, so familiar with them. Knows, I mean, he's a suspension expert from 2 wheels to 4 wheels. The field suspension story in itself is quite a substantial one. Let's look at it again.
Odie Bakshis going really wide on initiation, but very smooth. I like how early he lights off the tires as well and actually pushes himself through that first inside clip, which allows him to establish a bit of a gap. Now, Dimitri Brutsky making a big correction there to get the car back and settled. Odie dipping a little bit of wheels there into the dirt, and then as they come through here, Dimitri just very aggressive through the keyhole. Isn't able to keep the car sorted, and then Odie able to push through the rest of the run. So I like how wide Odie goes, but then it's not like he snaps it back around, and here we go. Simon Olsen making it back to the line.
Yeah, and again, you could denote the vehicle's very similar looking, but orange versus the high-vis yellow. So Odie Bakshis back to the line. Dimitri Brutsky's got a bit of an uphill battle here for this Prospect champ. Again, a pro rookie, but obviously a lot of track time for him doing double dipping. And here we go. Dimitri Brutsky out front. He's going to need to put down one heck of a run. If I'm Odie Bakshis, strategy-wise, you play it a little bit safe here. Not in active chase, but Brutsky never... Oh, boy, that's not how you get it done. Holy cow. Wow.
Something's... Okay, so...
It's not right.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, Odie doesn't need to complete it. Yeah. This is essentially for him a bit of a let the dog eat. So Odie's going to get the victory here.
If you're sitting at home, we've talked about side bite a little bit. This is an indication of 0 side bites. So when when Dimitri came through the keyhole, you saw him kind of loop the car around. And when we talk about side bites, literally what it sounds like, how the car is able to kind of dig in and get grip while going sideways. So it's not that forward drive. It's able to get the car to scrub back up. So pretty easy decision here. Odie Bakshis is going to move on, but something's going on with Dimitri. I don't know if maybe a rod has come loose or something along those lines, but obviously he's got some problems when it comes to the side bite. You can watch it here. The car's gripped up one way, but not gripped up the other. He tries to get back on power, but it is not allowing that car to get that grip going sideways and start to drive into the correct part of the course.
Yeah, so Brutsky, watch this, just rip and just gone. She gone. Unfortunately for Brutsky, gets into the grass, does some landscaping there, and bringing a lot of debris out there on track. I mean, look at this, left, right, side to side. I mean, we're using all the track here, and we are looking at Alec Robbins, his competition timeout clock ticking down. He's been going through, just talking to Spotter, she's saying that he's been going through supercharger belts.
Yeah.
So he's been, it just...
They had a post up earlier this weekend looking for any supercharger belt. They had a very specific size, obviously. They got a few of them sorted. They're still fighting that issue.
Yeah.
I did notice as well when he pulled up to the line earlier, there's a lot of smoke coming out of the catch can, which is not a healthy thing, but that could be completely separate. Yeah, fighting belts, that belt comes off, you're down half horsepower.
Yep.
Not a good place to be down on half horsepower.
We're making our way through 32, taking a look at this again. Brutsky. He beat it. That back right. Look at that. Yeah, that's 0 side bite. He's got 0 tire.
Yeah, now he's DB'd it on the other side, too.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
real hard. It's a bold move.
Bold move, Cod. All right, clean up on all the aisles. We'll be right back. Torque Drift 2, it's out. My man Alex Martini says download it. If you haven't played it, you're missing. You're tripping if you ain't tipping. Come on out here. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
I'm Alex Martini, and I'm over here on Torque Motorsports to talk about Torque Drift 2's newest update, and I gotta say, it's huge. I absolutely love it. I'm a huge fan. I'm addicted. I think I have a problem. The team heard you and the hundreds of thousands of others over the past couple months as well. Simply put, you wanted a way to earn something in-game so you can buy and build cars with parts. We listened because I am genuinely stoked to announce that Torque Drift 2 has its very own currency that you can earn right now called Tofu. Torque Funds isn't a crypto coin or anything like that, and it never will be at any time in the future. It's just an in-game currency, and it's the means of exchange in Torque Drift 2. It's earnable for free by playing freestyle, earning XP, and reaching the 5 daily tofu checkpoints, which gets you up to 30 tofu a day. You can buy tofu packs if you'd like in the tofu shop, and it's accessible in the player status bar, but you don't need to. Freestyle is the first of many new game modes, and it pins you against the clock to hit clipping zones at iconic tracks like FD Irwindale and FD Long Beach. You get to improve your score by mastering drifts, wall taps, careful wall taps because I've messed it up before, transitions, and so much more. And if you place high enough, you get ranked onto the leaderboards. With that said, we are bringing the community together with just a touch of competition. Introducing multiplayer leaderboards. So we've got new competitions, we've got new in-game currency, we've got new multiplayer opportunities. On the game side, we've made huge improvements to the UI and UX. We added a patch notes link at the login screen to learn about our changes in more detail so that you know what's going on. We made a bunch of optimizations to our tracks to give our quality settings more frame rate. We fixed some bugs, cleaned up some stock parts appearing in the wrong spots. We've got a bug report link that now works and cleaned up some clipping points in Hakone so you're no longer just randomly flipping your car. Oh, and we made things a bit cleaner by introducing a brand new place in the game called The Shop. From here is where you can shop for cars, car parts, pro-spec cars that are available to pick up with Tofu, our in-game currency if you want, and more. And for the modders, we have a kick-ass new road tool that simplifies track creation from start to finish. You can snap terrain, customize road material to create your own crazy track, and then share that with your friends and the 350,000 other players in our track list that is growing each and every day. With that said, we are absolutely stoked to have 0.9 ready for you guys and gals. We have been working, honestly, we've been working our asses off to make these changes and to make the game even bigger and better than ever before. And if you've given it a try once and it wasn't your cup of tea, we truly believe that you should give this another chance because it is wickedly fun on controller and also on a steering wheel. And if you play the game, shoot us your best drift clips over at alex@greasemonkeygames.com. I'd love to take a look at them or tag us on Instagram with the hashtag TorqueDrift2. I'm Alex Martini. I'm over here on Torque Motorsport, and we hope you enjoyed this update, and we'll see you on the next one. Adios.
Torque Drift 2. Download it now. Torque Drift 2, if you have not played it, as my man Martini said, download it, check it out. And look at this. Yeah, I can believe it, but I'm actually surprised on how much damage was sustained to Simon Olsen's car. 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's, I mean, it was a substantial hit. I mean, it definitely.
But first glance, though, we both thought it was going to be cosmetic. Yeah. But not the case. Here we go. Ryan Literal out front. Again, the Sunoco vehicle coming down the hill. It's at a bit of a deficit, though, all things considered. But Simon Olsen, we'll see if the car is 100% or at least 90% to get this victory here. Ryan Literal, who's running 100%. The car's looking great. The Sunoco S chassis, RB Army, Extreme Sim Magic. The Sim Racing, Kenda Tires vehicle coming down the hill. Jacob, is this enough? Again, with that contact, you got to think that first battle with Simon leading and, again, Ryan impeding on that transition, that is obviously going to hurt him and the outcome of this battle.
Was it a phenomenal run? Yes. Was it enough to take out Simon Olsen with that much of a detriment? I highly doubt it. Did have a bit of a struggle there through the first inside clip. First outside zone looked good. Second outside zone's pretty good. Did dip a tire. Didn't go quite deep enough there on that inside clip. But it's tough, man. You don't know exactly what damage was done to Ryan Literal's car either. They only had 5 minutes to do it. We probably checked it, assessed it, and went, as all we can do. And there's some of Simon's family there. It's his pops. I think it's his aunt as well. Yeah, great. It's great to see, you know, the Olsen clan out.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Slide him left for Olsen, right for Ryan Littoral. And Simon Olsen gets the win. A great effort by Ryan Littoral and the Sunoco Race Fuels Extreme Sim Magic. Kenda Tires vehicle and the Norwegian flag flies high. Again, you Norwegians, reapply that SPF 100, whatever you guys brought, that Norwegian paint. Make sure you guys don't get burnt over there. And you're hanging out with Team Rowdy, so don't get too weird.
I don't know if they know what they're in for.
Oh, it's gonna get weird over there. See my man Hurt in the building, Hurtretch, Eugene Jr., Nappy Boy Automotive. We're gonna be down at Type S, bro. 6:30, you, me, Larry. 6:30, bro. I'll see you down there, homeboy. Is Payne coming today or no? Nah, give me a nah. Give me. Don't steal second. It's all good. And the fire marshal shut it down the other night on Wednesday and say, we know Nappy Boy's gonna party too hard, so go over to Lane Near. You can party over there. All right, so here we go. The second run of Alec Robbins and Ryan Turk. So Robbins with those blower belts. He's been blowing the blower belts, so we'll see. And Ryan Turk had a heater of a lead run. But Robbins, didn't have too many mistakes, just wasn't really exactly aggressive. And here goes Rob. Look at Robbins. I think he found a blower belt. Goes in that second. Oh, Ryan Turk goes off in his second outside zone. The Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla exit stage left. That was very uncharacteristic. Don't know what happened to Ryan Turk. Let's take a look at it again. That was absolutely wild.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Is that warranting of a side-by-side, or just let's see that run again? Because, look, he's running. Was that a total glitch? Was it just a mind slip?
I want to know. I mean, obviously, I'm going to find out here. But what happened with Alec Robbins in the lead? Did something happen that caused it? Look at the angle. Robbins throwing there, absolutely center punching that first inside clip. I've always said he drives better angry, and he is driving angry. Turk just looks like he washes out. I didn't see anything from Alec Robbins that would have caused that. Maybe I'm missing something, but it just looked like Turk washed out. Wow.
Very uncharacteristic. They're asking for a side-by-side, but I just want to kind of see different angles of that. And I'm not surprised that Alec, like you said, Alec he had some room to make up, but this is uncharacteristic of Turk.
Yeah, so they want to see the lead to lead because we had those errors, big errors in the chase from each one. They want to see which lead is better so they can make their decision there. So right now, obviously, Turk out of the running at that point in time. Going lead to lead, Alec was a little bit closer through that section. Now we check through here where it doesn't really matter as much. But Robbins looks like he incompletes in the chase there right near the finish line. So it looks like he straightens out and drives to the finish line at the very end there. It's at the
right.
section.
You need to drift through the finish line.
Right.
That's, again, that's very, very close.
We don't have a lot of incompletes, but driving straight for more than 2 seconds and obviously just not driving at all because you're off-roading in the dirt.
This is deduction. Ryan Turk goes way off course, like wildly.
Yeah. So
again, you drift through, but I mean, if that was on the course, that's a quick correction. You go back and you drift.
Yeah.
So again, adhering to our rules, that would be.
That is an obvious incomplete from Ryan Turk. I think what the question becomes now is, did Alec Robbins incomplete when he was chasing? So we're having a lot of discussions up here, a lot of clarification between judges, basically everybody on board, just making sure that the right call is being made. Yeah, you can see this is. It's not easy. They've obviously got to look through and check every replay, every angle available. The judges do have a separate TV with a separate unit where they can go through and scrub everything. So they're able to take a look at a few things at a few different angles so that they can make their call correctly.
Yeah, so again, just analyzing here, and this is, adhering to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, just incompletes, the new rules, deductions versus, the 3 tires off, a straightening or a correction as opposed to an incomplete. That we've kind of got, we've gotten rid of the how do you say, the finality or the extremities of it being so I think Ryan Turk just had a major mistake there. He goes off. Robbins had a deduction, but that's a big shock to the system. But who's stoked right now? Alec Robbins. He needs to find some blower belts.
Yeah.
Or hopefully this one holds together, and fingers crossed. So Ryan Turk knocked out, but let's throw it down to Ryan Turk's Toyota teammate, Jonathan Castro.
Well, Jonathan was standing next to me, and then I said, I heard you guys yell, so he went over to check. My goodness. Unfortunately for Ryan, but fortunately for you, you're moving on. But there's been some big changes that have been happening for you between Long Beach and here.
Yes, we have now a new engine package. Is bigger engine built by Stefan Papadakis. Has been also a clutch package, so we have a nice, good setup on the car. More power, more consistency. The Canada tire is also improving really well in these conditions. So we're just having a good time. We got our battle with Ron Thorne. He did a great, phenomenal job on the lead. I was a little surprised, so I got to push a little harder. And we just did. My spotter just told me, "Hey, have fun out there, do a good lead," and that's exactly what we did, and that took us a win.
Yeah. Well, you told me, too, that you didn't have a lot of data on Robert Thorne, and so how do you approach a battle like that?
Yeah, I did not have that much data. As soon as he launched, it was pretty quick, so I have to make my adjustments to be like 80% to 90% right away, and trying to chase in as clean as possible with the distance that I have. I didn't want to cut any corners trying to gain proximity. I just trying to just chase what he was doing that with the proximity that it has, which I believe played better than trying to cut it down. Learning from mistakes before, but he was great. He was awesome.
Well, Jonathan, thank you so much. We'll see you in top 16. Jared.
Thank you so much, Lorette. And Brandon Sorensen with a bye run. Thank you, Jonathan Castro. Good luck to you. Castro's going against Simon Olsen, and he's got some time to work on the car. But B. Sorensen. Okay, that one looked like it was on purpose. The initial one, I don't think it was on purpose, but you know.
Did it for the memes.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, let's watch this. So
was this on purpose?
Brett? Yeah.
Oh, it was on purpose.
Yeah, it was on purpose. All right, B.
Hey.
All right, B.
Give JTP a call. I'll give you some lessons on that.
Yeah, and call Mad Mike, too. Not the prettiest.
I remember that. Oh, man.
Shout out to Mad Mike Wadad, who's competing over in D1 Japan right now.
I saw that.
Isn't that probably the oldest car in D1? I love that.
Definitely older than
a lot of drifting going down. Drift Masters. I loved your post the other day, Jake, or yesterday. Like waiting for drifting, we watch drifting, right? Like not enough drifting. Need more drifting. A lot of the drifting world, and I know a lot of eyeballs are on this around the world, so you gotta love it. Jacob, we were just off air saying on what an electric 32. Yeah, that's on purpose.
Yeah,
right,
100%.
We were just shocked.
100%. Dude,
we were just
doing
shocked.
that down the hill.
He was trying to go for the initiation, like the Advani clip, right?
Right.
Advani, he has that one at Adams kart track where he does 360 and goes right into it. His Corvette. Look up that one. Advani, Adams kart. Yo, bro, my man peaked. Dude. He's Saturday on a Friday.
Gotta pace
what are you
yourself,
doing,
man.
dog?
Gotta pace yourself.
Wake up, brother.
Yeah, you went too hard in the paint.
Dude, my man just sent it too hard. All right, well, we got a couple more battles left here in 32. Ooh, RCP and a raging Diego Higa, who got on the podium, well, not the podium necessarily, but got third place in the seating brackets, but the car's looking great. RCP saw his mom and dad at DFW flying out here. They're cheering him on. Here we go. RCP says give him honors hell. Well, he's got to give himself hell because he got that new BMW. Oh, Diego Higa, banging doors.
Oh!
Pushes him out of the way.
Already.
That was a pretty good hit on that side. We'll see. And again, with that angle, it might have just punted him out of the way. That was he did hit him kind of parallel.
But you're pushing the momentum over, right?
Yeah.
So you're adding energy to what's already going on with Rome. Hopefully Rome's all right. I mean, it's not like he didn't hit a wall or anything, but that's still very jarring at that speed. I mean, these guys are entering it at dang near 100 miles an hour at this point, so.
Yeah, we take that for granted.
We forget,
on how fast they're coming down the hill and then throw it sideways. You can play it torque drift, but
look at
how far. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so he hurt his arm, so his arm could very well be hurt. And Rome has endured quite a few things over the years. A couple of years ago, I don't know if you remember that in New Mexico, where he fell asleep and he was in the back seat of that.
I thought you meant his hit in Texas.
Hit in Texas. My bad. I was talking about just transporting the car.
Oh, he tried.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I think he snapped back. It might have grabbed the wheel.
Yeah.
If you got your hands on the wheel and your wheel comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, Daniel Ricciardo at Zandvoort, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You try to save it. He looks like you tried to save it and then almost
comes out.
Wow. I mean, realistically, the best thing, it's easy for me to say, is let go of the steering wheel and let it happen. But
do one of these, right?
You grab your arms. Yeah.
Hug yourself.
But, I mean, Rome, being the fighter he is, probably tried to save it for every single waking moment that he had there. But hopefully he's all right. Hopefully his arm's all right. That's a lot of speed coming through there.
Woo. Well, the plot thickens and the kitty litter gets utilized once again. Hopefully Rome is okay. I saw his head moving, but we'll see. Hopefully his arm's all right, man. That's That's just such a bummer. You never want to see that. And obviously Diego Higa just trying to be aggressive. So here's how the bracket is being shaped up. 2 more battles left, or 1.5 theoretically. Round of applause. There he is. He's getting out of his car right there, but some good battles. There he is. Hey, Rome, come on. Another round of applause for Rome Charpentier. Rome, they could hear. They could, you know, he could hear you. Yeah, it looks like he's nursing his left arm. Yeah, that was the side he got hit. So maybe it hit the door or the steering wheel grabbed. But we'll throw him into the ambulance. I'm glad he's just out of the car. Hopefully we'll get his car out. We'll see what happens. Professionally, though, Diego Higa will be at a deficit. I'm assuming, going to the judges, talking to you guys, Diego Higa is at fault. So just a very aggressive Higa. He is at fault, so he will have a deficit there. Rome, hopefully, can get his car back together and get himself back together. Hey, Lorette, Alec Robbins, he gets the victory. How are the blower belts going? Like, what's cooking?
Well, exactly that. These blower belts are a real problem. And Alec, do you have it in your hand?
Yeah, so we've got our supercharger belt on the front. The Serpentine belt has been really good to us. And, you know, these cars are temperamental sometimes. And, you know, last year we ran a very similar setup, and this thing lasted like 2 years on the car. And then with the new chassis here, it doesn't want to work for us. So we're fighting with this. It's we broke, you know, like 3 or 4 belts in practice yesterday, and it's just constantly changing them. And when the car loses this, it loses like 90% of the power to the ground. So there's not a whole lot we can do. Luckily, it broke on me chasing Turk, and it was like right in the last corner. So I was able to, you know, finesse the car enough to keep it sideways across the finish line. But it was very close. But yeah, so this is kind of what we're dealing with. But other than that, when the car works, it works really good. So we're just trying to figure this out. And once this is good, we'll be feeling pretty good out there. So.
Well, since you had to use your 5, you don't have that moving forward. Yeah. So where's your confidence right now?
About 50-50, I'd say. It either works or it doesn't. So we're just gonna go out there, and all I can do is drive the car and just hope it stays together for me. And yeah, just be prepared for it to let go and get ready to try and stomp on the gas and clutch kick it and just keep it sideways. And that's all we can really do. So yeah.
Do you feel like you're any closer to figuring out what the issue is?
Yeah, definitely. We've gone in both directions. So we've tried, you know, tighter belt tension, looser belt tension, and we're kind of, I think, going too far extreme in each direction. So once we find a happy medium, we should be set. And you know, this thing will last forever. But it's just like, you know, finding that happy position where it likes to be. So, yeah. Okay.
Alec, thank you very much. And we'll see him in top 16. Jared.
Thank you so much, Lorette. We're still getting Rome Charpentier's vehicle off of the course, and obviously he found that ambulance. When we come back, 1 more battle left, or 1.5. Forsberg versus Taylor Hall. This is a broken record, right? As we always have, oh, we got 1 more. No, well, you know how it goes. This is the Type S Road to the Championship presented by AutoZone. Thank you so much for joining us. What a barn burner here at this iconic track, 21 years. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Jared Deanna, Jacob Gens, and Rhett Nickel.
Is there an argument about whether pumice or walnut shell is the best abrasive in your hand cleaner? Not anymore. Fast Orange Premium brings the 2 abrasives together in one great heavy-duty hand cleaner that includes advanced skin protection. It's our best hand cleaner ever, and that's why we simply named it Premium. Fast Orange. We know a few things about cleaning hands.
Welcome to the streets of Long Beach. Look at that. It is a beautiful day here in Southern California.
K&N is back for another year as the official air filter of Formula Drift.
The final touch to my dream build is a Sony Mobile ES system. Time to cruise with Sony Mobile ES.
On race day, when you want to show everyone out there who's the best,
Here we go, Frederick Osborne.
you really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Osborne. Formula Drift is brought to you by Toyota, Let's Go Places. Royal Purple, the official engine oil of Formula Drift, the synthetic expert. Rockstar Energy, the official energy drink of Formula Drift. Welcome to the streets of Long Beach.
So my name is James Dean. Long Beach for me, favorite track in the world, best place to start the season. Everything was going really well for us yesterday. Felt very comfortable in the new car. And we were just wrapping up practice and I lost all power. Car went up in flames under the bonnet and basically took off. It melted the nitrous line and it just kept it going. It was fueling it. Passenger, he got himself out really quick. I turned the car off, killed the power, jumped out. Unfortunately, we suffered a lot of damage. Everything underneath the hood was absolutely destroyed. We're just working hard to get back on track.
Hello everyone, welcome back. I grabbed Ryan Turk here because I wanted to get a word with him on what happened exactly.
Yeah, just, you know, Alex been running great and we knew he was going to be a tough competitor. Try to do the best lead lap I could, which is one of my best I've had since practice. And the chase position coming up to the top of the hill, I was heavy on the front brake or the foot pedal, and just when I came off to get back in the gas and try to get back onto the door of Alec, I just couldn't steer the car. And I'm just like second guessing myself, like, was it my fault or was there an issue with the power steering? We're missing a couple ribs on the power steering belt and it seemed like it was overheated when we got back. So the boys are gonna pull it apart and just see if that's the issue or if, and try to look at the onboard and see if I did something big in the car, but it was odd. It felt really odd to me. So it's a bummer. I love this track. I gotta wait till next year to run again, but yeah, I mean, big thanks to the team and everybody. The car has been running awesome and a new 6-cylinder is phenomenal. So yeah, we'll just go back and regroup and try to fix the issue if there is one.
Yeah. And for the fans that are out here that love and support you, what do you want them to know?
Just thank you all for coming by the pit and coming out here and just supporting drifting in a big way. And you guys are always phenomenal. And I love, this is my favorite event of the year at Formula Drift. So I'm gutted I can't do more for you guys on the track, but we'll come back next year and try to get a podium.
Raise some hell. Ryan, thanks.
Couple New Hampshire folks right there, Lorette and Ryan Turk, both of them from New Hampshire, and live free or die. And unfortunately, it's the die part for Ryan Turk as far as on track, and you can just feel the emotion there. And that was interesting. I love the humility there of like second guess himself. Is the equipment, not blaming his guys, but things happen. It's the nickel part, not the $5,000 part. Guess what? This was intended to be our last battle, but we will revisit Higa and Charpentier, TBD on that. But Chris Forsberg and Taylor Hull. Taylor Hull, essentially his home track. He lives right here in Georgia. His wife is spotted up here at Lorelei. She's graduating high school. Happy graduation to her. And Tamara, and dude, they did some awesome things with Accelerate and Chick-fil-A yesterday. That was awesome. So she's been cheering on her dude, Taylor Hull, and Chris Forsberg. I know his fiance is here cheering him on. Nate Hamilton spotting for Chris Forsberg. But you know what we can do at halftime? Mustang Unleashed. If you haven't headed over there just yet, get in line, sign up. It's going to be awesome because you could get a shotgun ride in one of these very, very capable Ford Mustangs if you have not seen them just yet. But Head over to Mustang Unleashed display for an opportunity to be chosen for a tour of the RTR Vehicles Drift Team pit with Von Gittin Jr. Be there at 5:45 today for an opportunity to be chosen for this amazing opportunity. I got to ride with Von Gittin Jr. We did a tandem run with Ben Hobson. You get a head sock, you get a helmet, but just head over there, learn about the Ford Mustang. Also, Pro Spec driver Chris Leonard, who drives a 2017 S550, he's over there, and he's owned over 40 Mustangs. Be showing off one of them for him as he roasts his tires. And oh, look at this, we're finding out the Comp Cams Corvette has called a competition timeout. So here we go. All right. Hey, Lorette Nickel, how's Rome? What's going on?
Well, we're trying to find out that information. We don't have anything officially. It looks like Kevin Wells is now getting an update that he's talking to some Formula Drift officials. What can you say right now, Kev?
I guess Rome's been released from the ambulance, and somehow he's getting brought back up here to see if they can fix it, and then he can drive on this battle. But we'll see. This car's actually pretty damaged, so we'll see how it turns out.
Has the team told you what damage they need to fix?
The driver's side subframe is actually bent. So they were debating about changing the whole subframe or just trying to make it work to get this lap in.
Okay, Kevin, thank you very much. So you can see that the 10-minute clock is in Kevin's hands. The timer will not start until the team put their hands on the car. And so there's just a few discussions that are happening right now, and I will keep you updated.
Thank you so much, Lorette. Yeah, you know, taking a look at that instant replay, once it goes in the kitty litter, you see that front, or he said driver's side actually, so it ripped it that way, but you saw the car just come to a halt. Look at this. Woo! Looking like an F1 pit crew team right now. This is awesome. And again, cheer them on right now. You know, we cheer on the drivers, but cheer on the crew right now. They can hear you. They're at the top of the hill, and they are putting it together here for RCP, Rome Charpentier. So Lorette talked to Kevin Wells, and you know, he's kind of the eye in the sky, the absolute official. So Lorette Nickel, again, talking to Kevin. So let's go to Kevin's corner while things unfold for Taylor Hull and obviously RCP.
So we took the hood off to sling it by that, to pick it up, and then just drop the hood off over at Beecham's support cart here. Yeah, let's do the same thing as the last one. Yeah, let's sling this and just take the hood off. You want to hold this side of the hood up? Okay, watch yourself, and hold. Okay, she was pretty. There's the oil.
Grab it with ease. Got it. All right. Give me that tool. 235.
Killed it. Betty was where? It's got to be down that way. Did he go back? Are you guys done? Are you calling it or what? Yeah, but that here is where you do your work. Are you out? Because you're here.
I'm here because, wait, what's going on? I have 10 minutes to repair it. It's not okay here.
Hot pit, like always, man.
Kevin, I'm sorry. What do I have to do?
Straighten her up and
arrive to the start line.
No, you gotta do
I have to drift? I have to drift. I don't have to do a zero. I cannot do a zero run or something like that. Otherwise,
this is what we explained yesterday. Non-judge qualifying lap. You cannot zero if you're by yourself. All right, let's get a jack stand underneath it.
Here, careful to not burn yourself.
Can you just lengthen the upper arm?
What do you mean?
The weld on this top nut. No, I see it. It's crushed.
We advanced to top 32.
Right, but you can't continue. Yeah, exactly what I said.
Why I can't continue? Because I don't do the lap.
Correct, sir. Yeah, you have tons of toe out. Tons. I can't let you go with that much toe out. So fix the toe out or fix the camber.
I'm gonna bring the fact that I'm just gonna win from now on. You understand? And I was starting right now. He had a different plan for me. His throttle cable had a different plan.
I'd keep going. You probably got another. You got another 1/4 inch of thread?
Yes.
Use it.
like I saw him hit. I was like, it's hard to lift it, but then they come in with a left rear tire on, or rim on the ground. So it doesn't make sense.
Yep. So they're trying to review the footage right now.
Okay.
All right, let's hit it, boys. All right, green in. Let me know forward or back. Spin it really quick. This is no good. Okay, Eddie, yeah, hold on to that. Corner bucked me out. Okay, get the wheel on. Get the wheel on.
Sorry, guys.
This is the AutoZone Streets of Long Beach, presented by Type S. Congratulations, Tanner Faust, for being part of that. T. Faust, I see you, baby. Well, as we are seeing the plot thicken here, Taylor Hull and his team thrashing on that. Taylor still, oh, they got pry bars out, man. So look at this, the clock is ticking down. Oh, this is 16, 15 seconds. You got to button up that hood, boys. Pull those tools, get that thing rolling. We got 10 seconds. I don't know if it's going to happen. That comp camp, Canada Tires Corvette, cheer them on, guys. 5 seconds. The hood's got to come on. They got to. Exactly what's going on. 1 second. He is your Georgia boy, and the clock expires. Frustration sets in. I'm sorry, guys. That's going to be it for that comp cams, Kenda Tires, Edelbrock. Sorry to the whole family.
That's the worst feeling.
Yeah, what happened here is Mrs. Hull here tells me that the alternator has seized. So the alternator seized, and it's just so frustrating. The last battle, they've been chilling, they're waiting, anticipating, biting their fingernails, and then that happens.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's not the big parts. I mean, alternator's not sense, but still, it's not like a whole engine seized up. Yeah,
it's just petty.
It's not how anybody. And on Chris's side, like that's not how Chris wants to win.
No.
Nobody here wants to win like that.
Yep. Yeah, that's a bummer. Again, the whole family. Again, shout out to them, Tamara and Taylor, and again, Lorelei, their daughter graduating high school. A lot to celebrate here, but unfortunately, not that. Racetreads.com, exclusive event discount, only available at Racetreads booth. So go by the booth, up to $100 off a set of 4 tires. Brought to you by the official tire service of Formula Drift. So we're nearing our halftime break. Got a lot of time. I'm going to be down at the Type S booth with my man Larry Chen. Right, buy some Type S stuff. Also, my man Hertretch Eugene Jr., who's over at Nappy Boy Automotive. They're going to be signing autographs at 6:30. So come on down there, 6:30. We're going to be partying down at the Type S booth. Also, buy some Type S goods over the Formula Drift merchandise area. So right now, here we go, the all-new Z, Matt Soap on Aropa, keeping it clean, sending it for Chris the Fourth Sport. Let's lay out for this 3-time champ, piloting the NOS Energy Drink, all-new Nismo Z. Woo! All right, so there it is, a bye run. Unfortunately, Taylor Hull has to retire after a DNS. Did not start. So unfortunately for Hull, he is out. Now, right now, The clock is ticking. RCP, kind of a scenario to Simon Olsen where Higa takes out RCP, goes into the kitty litter. We are understanding that that Rome Charpentier, you can see that final spot there. But look at these battles. Dean versus Dylan Hughes, Jeff Jones versus Matt Field, Ken Gucci versus Forrest Wang, Frederick Osmo versus Taguchi, Simon Olsen versus Castro, Dan Burkett versus Alec Robbins, Odie Bakshis versus Brandon Sorensen, and Chris Forsberg versus either Diego Higa or that man. Talking about RCP. So looking at that clock, I'm assuming that's the last of the 10-minute allotment. And after this, he will be allowed another 5-minute. Will he need to utilize it? We'll find out. TBD of RCP. Looks like they're still jacking that thing up, buttoning up. Got a minute as the clock is expiring. Are we going to be good to go? Is he going to need that other 5 minutes? He said, and getting a text from here from Lorette. She is saying Rome Charpentier's left arm is tender, but he's ready to fight.
Nice.
Put me in, coach. Put me in, says RCP. Woo, doors closing. Doors closing, cars dropping. What do you think? I mean, strategy-wise, you'd want to save this competition timeout because here we are in 32, strategy-wise.
Yeah, exactly. And they're going to have the break to swap it, that subframe, so I expect to see that car go back down to pits. For anybody that's going to go check that out, please be respectful. Give them their space. Yep. Because they got a lot of work to do during this halftime break.
And what's fortunate here for him is he does have an advantage because Diego Higa is at fault. And 22 seconds, 20, he's starting it. Is he rolling? Picture me rolling. Tupac called. Yo, make some noise. Rome Charpentier and his team, the Garageistic BMW. High five. I saw my man, dad and son there giving a high five. That was sick. I see my man with the red hoodie. I see you with the glasses, man. Give your dad another high five right there. Come on. Give it to him. Give it up. Come on, another high five. Yeah, there it is.
Dab him up.
Yeah, dab him up. All right, so RCP ready to roll. Oh, man. He's saying good. I saw a little head nod.
I saw that, Mr. Positive. He might be the most positive guy on grid. Doesn't matter what's going on.
Most positive?
I would say so.
I'd say Andy Luck.
Yeah.
Hey, how we doing out there? Come on, make some noise. Let me see you. You're on again around the world. My man's raising the roof right there. You got a cold one in the hand, got umbrellas. Are you out there? My man's got this Ruckus shirt on. Shout out to Sideways Sean. You with the braids. Raise your hands, bro. I see you with the Ruckus shirt. Do you even know that's you? I'm talking to you right there. Zeroing in on you. No? You don't want to acknowledge me? I can see you. You right there. I'm looking at you, bro. Okay, cool, brother. Hell yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. Double thumbs. Who's got 2 thumbs and a Ruckus Racing shirt on? This guy, Team Gillywood. Yeah. My man, shout out to I Found Neeks. You right there, striped shirt. I can see you. What's up, man? Yeah. What's up? Throwing shout out. All right.
That might be Weird Al's cousin.
That is Weird Al's cousin. I think that's Awkward Al. That's Awkward Steve.
Yeah.
What's up, brother? How we doing?
Tuesday. Special team, special
Shout out to Greg and his lady getting engaged. Shout out to y'all. Lauren and Greg, congratulations. Again, shout out to Tyler, the Rebel flag flying over there at Team Rowdy. Rebel flag. Tyler and Cora Works, RIP, one more time. You know, the one more time banner, a little dated, it's given our new rules. Right? Spin those umbrellas for me. Let's get an umbrella spin. Everybody's got an umbrella. Spin it for me. Spin those umbrellas. There we go. Look at this.
Hey.
If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. I feel like Willy Wonka right now, right? Hey, young man, got a Dustin Miles shirt on. Spin your umbrella. Come on, you're on the camera. Spin your umbrella for me. I see FD ones. Seeing some cool Formula Drift, different varieties. Whoa, my man with the blue one, getting Richter right now. Just entered Cirque du Soleil again. Spin your umbrella. Come on, play along for me, would you? Is that Shrek right there? That Shrek hat? What's going on? You got horns on your hat? Got the weird Shrek devil? Oh, it's like what is that? The anime character? It's like the weird animals one. My man just gives it. There we go. That's an aggressive high. Man, look at that, bringing it back after hitting the kitty litter aggressively. Rome Charpentier, we got the double BOB. Bombs over Baghdad, or we're talking about not the AT-Aliens. We're not talking about Outcast. These guys are outcasted into the kitty litter, but the BOB, we're talking about the burnout box, courtesy of Kumo Tires. Diego Higa, who got aggressive into the door of Rome Charpentier, RCP versus DH and FD at ATL. Wow. I'm Jared Deenda. What's that? Wow. And my man, Jacob Gettins, he be getting it on, if you haven't listened to the Outer Zone podcast, I recommend. Got some short listens, got some long listens, but listen regardless. Some great insight there, most recently with Matt Sopa. You got judge's perspective here. We got to get Reese Marin on there. Reese, has Reese been on there yet?
Reese has been on, yeah.
Okay, I apologize.
I mean, we'll give a little insight. We had Sam Hubenet on recently.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, that's going to be coming up soon. I'm pretty, that one's fun. That was a lot of fun.
Dope. Yeah. What was your favorite one? I know you don't have to say mine. It's okay.
I mean, yours is up there, dude. Nobody else has like done, Chick-fil-A sauce, so someone's got to step their game up.
I did love that season to kind of like preface.
Oh, it was so good.
Fun. The
it was
forecast.
So good.
It was like a weather reporter.
Yeah, it was wild.
Still get paid, even though you might be wrong. All right, here we go. Second half of this battle. Now we are going to see Diego Higa lead and RCP in the chase position. Higa is at a deficit. Again, the pride of Brazil. And then Leticia Bafani, she's cheering him on from coming to her own home. We'll see. As Diego Higa needs to throw it down. And RCP maybe treading a little bit lightly, maybe kind of give him some line to run with. Maybe pull him back in here like a big mouth bass in that second outside zone. Higa goes out there, he puts it in the right place. Rome Sharpens here, tiptoeing his way through the course. And again, I think this is an advantage with that halftime break going into this. You got to take into consideration for the judges. Diego Higa punting him out of the way. Diego didn't have, I think that was enough. I mean, if I'm a judge, you're like, all right, all things considered, thumbs up there.
Realistically, looking at the rule book, like he basically just has to make it through the course. Yeah, look at Brian, no sleeves. All right, let's take a look here. I mean, Higa, I do love the initiation. It kind of sucks that this is the circumstances that we're in, but it does show the progression that Higa has had, especially coming out of that seating bracket where he ran through. It seems like a whole new driver. I know they've redone the livery, redone some body kit, and honestly, it's redone his mindset. But Rome in the chase, doing what he needs to do to just get through the course, put the points down, no zeros, no incompletes, which, like we've talked about, very much minimized the chances of that happening. But even still, I mean, Rome, it's not a bad chase considering that car is pretty messed up. No, it's probably sore. Advil hasn't kicked in yet, so. I believe the judges do have their decision, but yeah, I'm just pumped to see Rome back in the car, able to drive. It's a big hit, and throw it down to the judges.
Yep, here we go to the judges. You got to assume slide him left. Diego Higa just took him out a little too hard, but Rome Sharpens here, tiptoed his way through that chase run, and he gets it done. RCP going to top 16. That's a wrap on a Rockstar Energy Drink top 32. Jacob, I told Ryan, I said, man, what a show. He's like, hold on, a little early. But what do you think?
Man, I loved it. I mean, and we've still got this again. Oh, we're only through.
Dean Hughes, Jones Field, Gucci Wang, Osmo, Taguchi, Olsen, Castro, Burkett, Robbins, Bocci, Sorensen, Sharpentier, and Chris Forsberg. We'll be back here, back at it like a track addict. Jake Gens, Jared Deanna, Laurent Nico, and of course our judges, Reese Marin, Robin Sheeta, Brian Egger, our whole team. And again, we will be back. We'll see you here at 7:30 local time. FYI, it's currently 5:46 on that PM dial local time here at Road Atlanta. This is the Type S Road to the Championship presented by AutoZone. I'm Jared Deanna. We'll see you back here 7:30 local time for our top 16 United States Air Force driver introduction. See you down at the Type S booth here at 6:30. Send it.